This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hi, how are you? We are the show with Clayton McKee, coming to you live from Studio C in the heart of Central Phoenix on this Tuesday night.
Tuesday it is.
Every Tuesday we kind of gather and we do this.
Turns out, yeah.
Except on the Tuesdays that we don't gather.
Right.
Then we don't do a show.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
I think it is.
Fair and accurate.
We don't want them to expect more from us than we really can give, so no live show when we're not here. Sorry about that. Hi, everybody in the chat room. Richard, Drew, of course, Missy Al's in there, and I don't see Dr. Ben Carlson has signed in yet. Mom has, I talked to her earlier. She's, again, this is apparently the final of the NBA playoffs tonight. So
that's the thing tonight, huh?
She's watching with no sound because she doesn't like the fact that she watches it all with no sound because she doesn't need them to tell her what the fuck is happening.
Wait, our show or the
She
basketball?
gets it. No, the basketball. Well, she
Let's
probably
see. Al's drunk, screaming about the Tonys. Probably needs help.
So she's watching with no sound the NBA playoffs and watching and listening to us on her iPad. So
she's very busy.
Well,
multitasking.
Mama Di, we need an update. I think I missed a game. Did they play last night and I missed it?
I'm not sure. Hi, Mart.
Because it was 3-2.
I don't know.
Yesterday, so.
Oh well, Marnie's
So
here.
it was tied up, so it's 3-3.
That part I don't know.
She's
Well,
hoping.
it had to be. If
hoping,
they went to a game 7, then it's 3-3.
all I know is that Mom is hoping that Golden State wins so that Cleveland doesn't because she can't stand LeBron James. That's all I. That's
Oh, and
really.
see, and I just want Cleveland to win because they lost him. He won some for another team, and then he came back to them.
The series appears to be 3-2 going into this game with Golden State in the lead. So if they tie it up tonight, then they'll play on the 19th, which
Then there
is
wasn't a game last
Friday?
night.
Okay.
Because I saw the end of Sunday's game,
Oh, I thought there wasn't.
and then I lost track.
Yeah.
I was
So
I was at the movies yesterday, getting my movies on.
Like you are, like you do, in the cool breeze of the AMC theaters.
In the cool of the evening.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Of course.
I call it enjoying someone else's air conditioning.
Yes. For $8 or $10, whatever it costs you to get in.
That's a sport in this town.
Yes, indeed. Let's see, what is it? Let's just check just for idle curiosity right now. Current temperature, Phoenix, Arizona, on the 16th day of June, 108 degrees. However, in fairness, it has been such a lovely spring for us.
Can't complain.
We really can't bitch about this.
Nope, and I shan't.
By using somebody else's air conditioning.
Yeah.
By renting.
I mean, I did not
space.
once moan or groan on my bike ride over here today.
Yeah?
Even though it was 112 and I was in my car at 6:10.
Yeah, it's a hot
Sounds
one.
terrible.
Yeah, and then Wednesday, just in case you don't know, we're going for the gold.
We're going up.
Wednesday through Saturday, it's predicted at 115.
Yeah, that's not bad. Call me what I laid out in the sun when it was 120. So you can't scare me.
Then we have
I saw a thing online that apparently the hottest recorded day in June ever was 122 back in
Yes.
1990.
Yeah.
At the pool.
At a girl.
Yeah.
121 was the day before, and they stopped all flights because
too hot. They can't get air.
They
Can't get up.
They
Right.
couldn't decide how long they needed, and then the next day it would hit 122, and they made it up again. And then someone said, if you just move the thermometer for the city off of the airport, and they hit it, and that's why it hasn't hit 122 again. It's not that it's not 122, it's that they don't keep the thermometer in the same place anymore. They put it in the shade about a block over.
Yeah.
Sure.
Near a fan.
Pretty smart.
Because you also don't get any tourists when you put up 122. So they're like,
That's for damn sure.
Ambient air temperature is not the same as putting it right in the fucking sun. I took my infrared thermometer out earlier, and it was my patio was 114 degrees.
Yeah.
And that was at 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning.
I always laugh. Like, that's why, with global warming, it's never hit that temperature. No bullshit. They moved the thermometer.
Yeah, right. It's next to a fan with an ice block between it.
And I think they did the, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi, Meow Cal. Good evening, Drew. Hello.
I believe that they figured out the temperature to land a plane up to 126.
Yeah.
I think that's the cutoff.
Yeah.
To land or to launch?
It was both.
Okay.
The braking temperature and the tires exploding, like
Right.
the heat of the pavement and all that stuff. But it was the takeoff of how I think if I remember.
It should be the
It's been
takeoff
like
because
25 years.
the extreme heat ought to kind of change the amount of speed you need to get the lift.
Yeah. But it was a big thing that the airport was like, nope, we don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have anything for over
I feel like we
120.
should call my cousin who's a pilot and ask him, get him live on with us and say, find out exactly from a pilot what's the cutoff. What are they telling you?
All right. And he's probably going to say, I don't
We
know.
could
It doesn't
also
fucking get that hot anywhere but there.
Right. He's like, well,
no
I'm
one
not,
but people
I'm
in
not
Phoenix need to know that.
He does fly out here occasionally. So, but I think the company he works for is smart enough to not come out here in June, July, August.
Mm-hmm.
They come out here in the beautiful months of December through March.
Okay.
Well, hello again, everybody. It is show 219. It's a Tuesday night on the 16th of June on this lovely Tuesday night. Thank you for being with us from wherever you are listening, live or otherwise. We'll start with Kat Carlson. Go around the old table of love and tenderness.
Well, hi. Gosh.
Hi.
Since you know what? I am on a movie bender.
Oh,
I've seen 3 movies in a month.
Nice.
That's a lot.
that would be an annual for me if that.
Seriously, no, that's probably more movies than I've seen in the theater in about a year.
Okay.
I went and saw Jurassic World this weekend
Yeah.
and had a wonderful time. I took just the one kid because he'd been begging about it, and I don't know where he found out about it because we don't watch televised anything, so we don't see a whole lot of commercials. But he heard about
Well,
it.
doesn't he
and
have friends that say?
Well, sure, but it's summer. We're isolated.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even
but
think
they've
about
been-
that.
Yeah,
they
we're-
have been
we're
pushing
slightly
this one
isolated.
like
You're right.
For a
harder
long
than
time.
hell. And Jurassic Park has been on Sci-Fi Network, ABC, and one other network has been playing it like on a loop.
On a loop.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I said sometime last week I was home, and I was like, oh, I need to catch up. I need to follow the storyline. So I watched all
Sure.
3 of them. I did a
Okay.
marathon of all 3 of them
Yeah, good.
because I love number 3.
Do you?
The much maligned Jurassic Park 3.
I didn't know there was. I thought there was only the first one. There are others.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, and if you are someone
don't
who
keep up, I
thinks
guess.
there's only the first one, you can go from the first to the world and be fine.
Yeah, you'd be
You,
fine.
you don't need
Okay.
all the
Yeah.
ones in the
Oh,
middle.
you've
you
seen
don't
it.
need them.
You've seen it too.
Did you see
Yeah, I
it?
saw it this weekend.
Oh, okay.
good.
Yeah.
As the whole world
No.
did.
I have not been in a more full, busy movie theater than I was when we went to see Jurassic World because we went Saturday afternoon. I picked the kid up, and I'm thinking, like, we're used to kind of just strolling into movies. Like, we don't see them opening weekend hardly ever, and so
Yeah.
we're used to just kind of strolling in at 5 minutes to showtime and having plenty of time. And movie attendance is kind of down overall, I think. And so we walk up to the ticket window. I picked him up. I'm like, oh, the movie's at like 1:45. We get there like 1:30. Plenty of time, no problem. We walk up, and the girl's like, we're like 80% sold. It's scattered seating in there. Are you sure? Like, she's basically trying to talk people out of buying for that
Yeah.
showing. And I looked at the kid, and I'm like, nope, we are not sitting in the front row for this bullshit.
Yeah.
We're going to go. So I get on the phone and look up the next showing at someplace else and, to
Okay.
make it work in our schedule because I had to go to work later. So I had kind of a cutoff. So, yeah,
Right.
we ended up, like, hopping theaters because I wasn't going to deal with how full it was. And there were so many fucking people everywhere.
I saw it last night at 7, and
Was it still busy?
I was still busy.
Was it? Wow.
And I got there 20 minutes early, and I said, I was alone,
yeah.
so it's not to find the singles, not that to find the scattered seats, not hard.
Right.
Not for you.
And I knew not to call anybody. Like
Sure.
I was like, oh, no, we're not trying to go see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew
with
saying
another
that-
human.
Drew saying he went at noon on Saturday. Theater was full. Couldn't believe it. Earliest he'd been to a movie in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, it was every
Yeah,
show.
we were an early one. It was everyone all day long, I think. It was fantastic. But yeah, lots of fun for that. And other than that, a whole lot of work, a little bit of drink, and bam, it's Tuesday again.
I'm good. I haven't had to deal with a lot of lines for movie theaters because I'm just now seeing Titanic and it's in the theater.
Yeah.
Totally kidding you. Totally kidding you.
For those
know
of
what?
you that can't see my face, I'm just giving the slow blink to Clayton McKee.
Still better in the theater.
Oh my God! I saw it. I saw
sure.
it 8 times in the theater, and the final was in the original Cine Capri.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
that was back in the days of trying to see everything worth. Like you would have your regular movie list and then your Cine Capri list.
Right.
And so I think I saw it 3 times before I finally saw it at Cine Capri. Because people would be like, oh, I want to go. I'm like, well, let's try Cine Capri, and it would be sold out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd go and see somewhere else. And then finally I went and saw it. I got to see it and it was their last movie, wasn't it?
It was the. I believe,
And,
for those of you outside of the Phoenix,
glorious.
Cine Capri was the largest screen in the state of Arizona. It was a great old 1960s.
Oh, no, 1930s movie house. It's one of the original movie houses
No.
in Arizona.
No, it can't. That cannot have been a 1930s.
Refurbished several times. The Cine Capri, the Kachina, they were all the same owned. They were all owned, like they were all their own thing at one time. There was the Kachina in Scottsdale.
They were all Harkins.
No,
Harkins
Harkins bought them
they
later.
bought them later. 30s in that part of the city, because that would have all been orange groves. I didn't think that was that. I'd like to look it up. Can I phone a friend?
If I know the one in Scottsdale, I know the Kachina was definitely from the 30s, and I can't remember what the other one was. There was one in South Scottsdale, one in Old Town.
I'm going to look that up because I just didn't think that the one on 24th and Calbeck was that old. I thought it was from the 60s, maybe 50s.
That would make sense.
April 1st, 1960.
Are we talking about 24th Street in Camelback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
66.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Construction began in 1964.
What's the Kachina then? Look up the Kachina in Scottsdale.
Spell it.
Kachina.
The traditional spelling.
Kachina.
The only reason I said that was because the Kachina did their tribute to the 1930s when they closed down in 1989.
Opened in 1960, November 60.
I was completely wrong because when they tore it down in 1989, they did a throwback to the prices of 1939, and they did the golden year of Hollywood.
But now the Orpheum, the Orpheum downtown would have been one of the originals from that era.
But that was a legit theater, then a movie house, then a legit theater.
Then the legit theater. Got it.
Okay, so it all came along with
Fascinating.
Theaterscope,
Yeah.
CinemaScope.
Cinescope. Oh,
CinemaScope,
and then
right.
then later there was the Technicolor. We loved it. No, actually, Technicolor was before that, wasn't it? Yeah, whatever. Anywho,
This may have been the worst history of film
ever.
ever recorded and broadcast.
I just stayed out of it because I have no idea.
Technicolor
Please
was always
don't
around.
feel like you've
CinemaScope
learned
was to
anything.
compete with television. CinemaScope was to compete with, so people didn't stay home and wait for a movie to come to reruns.
Oh.
It was in direct. That's why it got so big, so you couldn't see it.
Oh, because it cuts off on the sides, like you said before, when you
Pan
watch
and scan,
Jaws on a TV, because it's cut down, you don't see anything going on the peripheral.
So old movies don't matter. Like Gone with the Wind was never in CinemaScope. Gone with the Wind is a small TV-sized movie. It's when they try to show that on the big screen, they have to close the curtains.
Right.
But when you get to CinemaScope movies and anything after CinemaScope, that's when to show it on your screen, they have to pan and scan. They can't show you the whole thing, which is why you should never watch A League of Their Own, Jaws,
Right.
Indiana Jones. There's so many movies that you just cannot watch
No.
on TV because you're just watching a camera go like
But
this.
you can watch them
I
if
mean,
you get
watch
the
them
DVD
anyway.
now. You
Letterboxd.
can letterbox, right? You can watch it now. Got it.
All right, this just went off the rails.
Wow.
What did you do?
Hi, Marn.
The history of film. Marn, what have you been doing?
You did something with a tow truck.
Oh.
Tell us that story, would you
Yes.
please?
Yeah, we were running around looking for Erin's bathroom. She's putting.
She doesn't know where her bathroom is.
Nope, she can't find it anywhere. we even looked in the avenues and we couldn't find it.
Because that's where bathrooms often are.
It may be. We don't know. You can't judge. So we went. She's redoing the whole back bathroom, and so we went to look for some tile, showrooms, and some different things.
Okay.
So we're out on that side of town, and my car had been doing this thing. It did it about 3 weeks ago, where you're driving, and it's almost like you're trying to drive with the parking brake on. Like it just.
This is the Buick?
No, my Roo.
Oh, I'm sorry, the roof. I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay.
And like it almost just kind of lunges, and like the back tires, they don't nothing. It looks like the brakes are just clamped on, and so, well, that wasn't the case, and we were able to get out of our first situation 3 weeks ago. Took it in. They looked at it. Nothing.
Of
Can't
course.
find it. Right.
Of course.
Like okay.
Nothing to see here.
No,
Yeah.
no. And then we are on the corner of 27th Avenue and Camelback at rush hour.
Okay.
And it wouldn't go anywhere. And we were just, there's an AutoZone right there, the Momo Mart, which I now call the Homo Mart, because
Yeah.
that's where we sat.
Like you should.
We were just.
That's what I thought Momo Mart meant.
We were just past the place where we could have attempted to turn in, like just past the drive-in. So, and it wouldn't go anywhere anyway. It was locked. And it would run. The AC was working. No
go.
No light, and no light to say like check engine.
Oh,
or
right.
do that, nothing.
Right.
And so I'm like, fuck. What are you kidding me? And people don't understand what a fat girl standing in the middle of the heat on the thing going like this, waving her arms. I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
Were you wearing that shirt?
Because
they
you
could
can't see me.
Oh, what were you wearing?
Wow.
I mean-
That got ugly really fast.
No. I'm just thinking, what?
Were you
I know,
wearing
right?
that shirt?
Because
No, but I mean, there's no reason.
if it was
that
a
you can't.
beige shirt, they may not have seen you.
I understand. Apparently, in black, I look just like the asphalt. I don't know. I was the president of the NAACP. And I gave that up. And I mean, for real, it was just like, come on. So we finally got it to work because I couldn't even in neutral push it anywhere.
Oh,
Wow.
See, that's what I went through.
Oh.
Where like Remember I told you?
Yes, there
Shit
was
locked right up.
nothing.
We
It
were
was-
we were a go no go for launch. And it was a no go, by the way.
And that's
go.
and that's a 4-wheel disc brake car, isn't it? Or is the, are the
All-wheel.
backs drum?
All-wheel.
All-wheel drive.
all-wheel drive.
4-wheel disc brake, or is it rear drum?
I don't know. Don't ask me confusing
What,
questions.
Yeah.
what year is it? No, because
05.
almost everything. Oh, it's. I'll bet it's discs.
I would think it's all.
They don't do
all-
drums anymore.
I didn't realize we broadcast in a foreign language. This
I
is
know.
so exciting.
All of
It's like
that's
George
very
Bush's
confusing.
acceptance
J'approuve.
speech all over again.
It's very
J'approuve.
confusing. Anyway,
Don't over underestimate it.
I got it. I finally got it to where it would move, and I was able to push it backwards. Like I got
Right.
cleared, so we could try to get in the.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Kind of how when I back on my chair. Look,
Yeah.
the same thing.
I make that noise every time I back
I
up.
like
too.
it. And
With this
So
ass,
we-
I'm
we-
legally obligated to do it.
we got out of harm's way.
It's a funnier joke if
Luckily.
you don't spit.
And then AAA came and took us back to our side of town.
Where did you take the car?
Firestone. Just the place where I normally go on 37th.
Okay. That redid your brakes, not.
They haven't been done for a while. But
it was a few years ago. You had them done.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they said that they don't think it's the brakes. And it started, the other thing was that was like, okay, was as we're sitting there in all this traffic and commotion, the smoke just started pouring out from the left tire. And
Oh.
it smelled like just burning rubber, and it was awful.
It feels bad to
that
me.
sounds like
Judge's rule: time to get a new car.
Well, that's where I was. This is the
That's-
second time it happened in
sounds like-
under a month.
sounds like brakes overheating.
And it may be, but my deal is it's the second time that's happened in a month. They're not able to find it. They looked at the brakes. They looked at everything.
Yeah.
And so my concern is I don't want to find out a third time when we think we're good to go to San Diego or we're good to go up north or
So
something.
is this where you talk to Clayton and Clayton buys your car for $30 and then and then I magically fix it?
I'm not gonna play with you. That hadn't come into my mind, but well, ruling.
I'll permit it.
Yeah.
I'll permit it.
$45.
So,
I'll
Survey
even give you.
says-
I'll give
Yeah.
you a C note.
sorry for that boring kind of shit.
I'll
but
I'll
it was
give you
just
a
like,
full
Jesus
C note.
Christ. So they came and they
I have
picked
a
us
paper
up,
towel?
and it was a lovely,
Yes.
lovely. We took pictures because there
I
was
saw the
back
back
seats.
seat of the cab. Yes,
We're like, are you kidding?
that was funny. Or not the cab, the tow truck.
No,
I'm sorry.
Tomo, you haven't, honey.
Car Chat USA.
Hi, Tomo. Welcome
No,
to,
he
to
said no
Car
pop,
Talk
No Pop Tarts
with
yet.
Click
he
and
said.
Clack.
He said no Pop Tarts yet.
Well, god damn it!
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Where the hell? We got to figure this out.
Did you get a
I have a tracking
number?
Yeah.
Well, it's they didn't say it was really a tracking number, but I have the receipt. We'll
Yeah.
get to that. We'll get to that.
Anyway, digress. But that was good. We did.
Did it
see
ship
your-
by Malaysia Air?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what USPS
No.
uses,
Sure.
but from what I understood, it was going from here to Hawaii and from Hawaii on to the New Zealand territory. But I don't think
You may have gotten lost.
Territory.
territory. I don't think that Malaysian Air flies in that.
It's on a prisoner's holiday. I'm trying to
Con Air.
I'm trying to
took
plan
over.
a trip to Australia and New Zealand. Trying to work that out, and I'm calling it a prisoner's holiday. My point
I
is-
like it. And we did. We saw Jurassic World on Sunday. And Richard, there will be no spoilers.
Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
I really did. We saw it in 3D,
Mm-hmm.
which it made me think of Al the whole time that we were
because it
sitting
wasn't
in
really
there.
filmed in 3D. I meant to put that
I
out
was
there.
wondering about that because I'm like
Post.
when things were kind of coming forward. I was thinking of sitting in front of your TV with watching.
Yes, in front of his TV.
Well, and
Well, because we
watching
watched
it-
Gravity, which was really filmed in 3D.
Right, and all of a sudden, like I literally ducked at one
Right.
point. And here in Jurassic World, it was there and it was
Because it's all
prominent, but it was
computer
cool.
enhanced and
Yeah, it was all done in post, and I googled that first when I was making my
Okay.
my selection.
Yeah,
I did
thought
that with
it was pretty
IMAX now
cool.
too. Like, is it really filmed in IMAX, or are we just blowing it
Yeah,
up
you
to
had
fill
talked
half
about
the
that.
screen and annoying?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. I thought it was really good, and I enjoyed myself. We took Aaron's dad for Father's Day. That's what his big deal was. He wanted to go to that. and-
Just checking the pacemaker, or what's the plan?
No, he loves Jurassic Park, and
Yeah.
the kids were like, "Really? Okay." So we just did that, and it was the first movie I've been in a long time where at the end everybody like applauded.
Really?
Yeah, and I loved that, and that's not a spoiler, Richard. That's just the idea that it was so good. Like at the end,
we kind of
everybody
did a little bit. Like Armand and I, we were like, yes.
Yeah.
Really?
It was really kind of fun, and the whole audience. And I thought, oh my god, this is very fun. And then I just wanted to. I liked it. Yeah, so it was good. It was good.
I like Tomo's comment. I think the dingo ate my Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Or the fat man at the post office would be
Well,
your
Tomo,
best bet.
my receipt on the 19th of May this
Wow.
year of 2015, it says they wrote 6 to 10 days is what they had thought. I have a customs form number, but apparently there's not really a tracking number. I will do some research and see if I can find out anything about it because by God, it should be to you by
Ought
now.
to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
By anyone's standards.
Oh, I would think so. My God, I could have
Wow.
floated it in a bottle and probably got it to
Yeah.
you. Just a guess.
Again, I think we're enjoying Malaysia Airlines.
Pop-Tart in a bottle. I like it.
I haven't heard of them losing any other flights of late, so I'm not sure.
Oh, they've had all kinds of stops and starts. Those fuckers.
Oh, well, there's that.
There's those people. So I went to Denver,
Yes, you did. I saw pictures of you
the
in
People's
another.
Republic of Colorado.
Yes, and I have to ask, whose idea was it to go to the Coors
Yeah,
tasting?
right?
I was a little
Well, it was-
surprised.
Well, why not?
We really didn't know a lot to do when we were in, because we were there for a wedding. Mm-hmm. And the wedding was in Lakewood, which is where we stayed, in the southwestern suburb of, the Denver metropolis, metro area, if you
Right.
will. And Golden, Colorado is the next little town over. So it was very, very close by. And we did the little town of Golden. And it was just to see, we always did that as kids, though. So it was kind of a joke
okay.
that we went to breweries. As long as they were union, that was always the rule. We would go
Right.
to any factory as long as it was a union factory.
Got it. Because Dad was in Nabisco.
Was in a union and very pro labor. So we went and we had done Utica Club beer in upstate New York, Geneseo beer at one point. So it was fun to go to a brewery, learn about the different things. Coors Light's what they're really famous for that, and not because it's light in calories, but because it's so clear. Like they've removed all flavor and
Filters.
taste.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, isn't
I
it-
didn't
isn't
see
it
your
Coors
thing
Light
until
claim-
too late, and I was laughing so hard I was going to be like, "Boo!"
Yeah. So they
Right
they
here.
do have
I'm
something
there.
called I think it's the banquet. Coors Banquet is what Coors.
Is their flagship.
Yeah, that's what Coors regular was called. Was Coors Banquet.
Okay.
They do Coors 19, which was the brew that they did pre-prohibition that I found delicious. They also do they brew Blue Moon. They do
That's right.
They're actually the
something-
I
ones
wouldn't
that
have even thought
coined.
about that, but that's right.
They do.
yeah.
They're actually the ones that coined the term craft beer
Oh.
to sell their Blue Moon product. No, it's a true story because Coors was like, okay, we've got this thing, and microbrewers were such a big thing at the time when they came up with and started brewing Blue Moon. They're like, well, we want to capture all the craft beer people, and so all these microbrew people, but we're not a microbrew. We're making it nationally, so they coined the term craft beer to try and appeal to the microbrew market, and it worked.
and they do Killian's Red there too. So I loved the 19, the one that was the pre-prohibition
Yeah, the
brand. The banquet was really good, and then you get trashed. It's free, which I was not expecting it to be free. I thought there was going to be some exorbitant price, but you park for free. You get on this little shuttle. They take you to the plant. You walk through with little walkie-talkies. Is there something in my nose? With little walkie-talkies, and you listen to the audio tour at your own pace. You can skip parts if you're not interested. The actual processing plant was open, so we watched them do the packaging, just like in
fun.
Laverne and Shirley.
Oh.
So I did a little Cheval
Hasselhoff Incorporated.
and we read all about it. It was interesting. And then you do like the freshest Coors Light you'll ever have. They had the night, I think it was the Coors Banquet and the Coors Light, like right there, right before they went into a can. You could get a little cup. And then you got to the end and you got 3 full, like, fucking glasses.
Oh.
Yes.
And you had your choice of the 19, the Banquet, the Coors Light, the Killian's Red, the Blue Moon. You got 3 fucking glasses after you've already had a sip. Trash.
Oh, wow.
I had to stop it too because I was driving and we had to walk, like we had to abandon the car and like leave it in the Coors parking lot and walk and have lunch and come back because I'm like I can't drive.
right.
And so Beer and I started dating a few weeks
well,
back.
you had that. Yeah, we had it the other night at the old Stacy's. You were having some.
And Beer and I have broken up. We
Oh.
I have now discovered the horrible after effect of beer and am no longer participating.
Oh.
Because the not sleeping after vodka, I'm good with insomnia. I am not good with what beer does to you the next day. That
Oh.
did not make for a pretty day.
Not always
Gotcha.
cute. Right.
I
So-
see.
Sometimes it's a little. It looks like you scratched it.
What if you
Okay.
did? You got.
I don't know, but it hurts.
The surgery's not going well.
No. Oh God, I wish. Shizzle this fucker down. So that was
Right.
it. So it was a fun trip. In on Thursday, out on Sunday. Met, friends of my sisters. Their daughter was getting married. There was all kinds of people from Niagara Falls there. It was kind of funny. Met people that I didn't know, but I knew family names.
And that was the picture that you took. That's when you were in a tie. First of all, you're in a tie. That's a little bit odd. That's
How did I miss the tie
That's
picture?
both your sisters, right? I obviously I recognize Debbie. That's the other sister.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Which I've not met, and I'm like, I think that's a rarity that you get all of you outside of New York.
Right, very, very rare.
Right.
Actually, not since I think it was the first time the three of us have been in a state that wasn't Arizona or New York since 1976.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That we'd all. That's why I was like, when Nancy said she wanted to go, I'm like, well, God damn it, we gotta get this shit together. So it was fun. I really didn't know anybody. They were like, oh, you'll know people. I mean, I know a couple people by their last names and stuff, but maybe met some people, chit chatted. It was nice to see big families getting together and saw a little bit of Colorado, but not too much. It was more about like visiting with them, visiting with others, and one little family adventure that we'll tell you about another time. But when I saw Red Rocks Amphitheater, if you've ever seen a concert on cable or rented a thing, anything from the Red Rocks Amphitheater, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's near Golden, Colorado, and it's carved out of the natural red rocks like Sedona, and it sits just like the Hollywood Bowl or the Greek Theater. It's a natural amphitheater, but it looks out over the most gorgeous vistas, and it's a fucking walk. First you got to drive up a mountain, then you got to walk up a mountain, and then there's crazy motherfuckers
Climb
like
every mountain.
What's it called when you do a stadium? When you do all the stairs in a stadium?
Run the stairs.
Something I've never done.
It's got a name, and I still can't think of it.
Something I might never do.
But there was people like doing up and down the amphitheater stairs and
Sprints?
going across, and
Oh, I remember Overachiever.
No, it's got a name.
Not
when
this
you-
fat.
Yeah, exactly.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. That's what I call it. But there's people like running up and down the stairs, and then stopping and doing like crazy push-ups and shit. It was nuts. But absolutely gorgeous views.
You're looking for Tour de Stade, or perhaps Tour de Stade, tour of the stadium where you go up and down every section and get all the way around.
And then it's a workout. And they do it at like the Coliseum in LA, and like
I've seen. I just didn't realize that
Doing
there
the
was
same thing you are. But that's what I come up with too.
and
Tour de
you
Stade. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot. Everybody's got a different name for it. It's called Stupid Al. Thanks, Tomo. and we
Tomo!
and I did not see
for the
until I actually was leaving town on the super shuttle. I did not see a pot dispensary in all of my driving around. It wasn't until the very last day driving through I saw one. It was a medical place.
Okay.
Oh, in the first 2 days, rain like I have never seen, not even in Niagara Falls, which I think is categorized as a rainforest, or at least in my mind it is.
Sure.
I have never seen rain like this. Outside, like Seattle and Niagara Falls, the only two places on Earth that I have seen this kind of, like, the clouds were at your head level.
Right.
No joke, because you were so far up.
Right.
And it rained so hard for the first 24 hours we were there. It was insanity. And they had flooding and things washing out, but not like rain like here, where it's like,
15
2 hours.
right, 15 minutes
This
of
was
a-
24 solid hours of and there was a creek that what used to be a creek was now a raging river through the middle of Denver that my brother-in-law was like, I don't think that probably happens a lot. And I'm like, bring it on, people. We need your river. I don't know where the Colorado sneaks up
It
into
somehow
here, but
drifts down to the Arizona somehow.
yeah.
It's out
You know
there.
what? Rocky Mountain thunderstorms in the summer, though, are a fantastic show to see. Was it like thunder and rain, or just rain?
And they've had like 40 out of the last 50 days of rain. They've had excessive amounts of rain. Like all the mountains are green.
Yeah.
And everyone is
That's
commenting
fantastic.
that nothing should look like this.
Right. It's usually kind of brownish.
But this was Seattle kind of like...
Lush.
Yeah, no, I mean the rain was so intense. Because I've told that story about being in Tacoma the one time and only had to walk like 3 blocks in this... And all of us that are... If you're not from somewhere like Pennsylvania, it rains like that too. There's or Minnesota, I'm sure too. Like where it truly rains. Like I walked 2 blocks in Tacoma once and lost shoes. My phone died. My wallet was ruined. Like
If it's gonna rain, it's going sideways.
Yeah,
And
everything
crazy,
on me was completely ruined by the time I got to my next destination, which was about a block away. So this was that kind of rain where you couldn't see anything. Like driving was nearly impossible, and not because I'm a bad driver, but because you just could not see.
Because you can't, right.
Right.
There
And it
reaches
didn't
of
let
visibility.
up. That was the craziness, is it just did not let up. Oh God, and the clouds coming through. So what'd you do? We were at the same airport.
Well, we for a brief time, yes, you and I were in Denver at the same time, just not together, because my flight, I flew to my end destination was Lansing, Michigan. I DJ'd a pageant for a friend who owns a division of a pageant world, whatever. It was an interesting little. You meet a lot of interesting people in the pageant world.
Oh, I'm sure. Takes all kinds.
So I decided I had to come back to my house, and I haven't yet, but I need to spend a day alone in my workshop working on a lawnmower for a cleansing from being around that many drag queens in one room with that much plastic surgery. So flew from Phoenix to Denver, had just a literally 45-minute layover, if that, and then boom, we were on to Grand Rapids. And then there was the shuttle bus, which they call the party bus. Which
I saw.
The reason for the party bus was because they had a cooler with a couple bottles of vodka and a couple mixers.
Party to me.
You know the shuttle buses that you get on at the airport when you have to go to the occasionally to the car rental agency, to pick up a car. It was one of those, but it really had been through the mill. We died. The vehicle died like 2 or 3 times. We pulled off the highway. Somehow got it restarted and carried on. Got clear to the over an hour drive between Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Lansing, where we made it. But I don't need to be on that shuttle bus service anymore. I was good. But it was a fun time. I was the first time, like you had said earlier, Al. You've been to the Betty Ford Clinic. I've been to the Gerald Ford Airport 2 times.
Happily married couple, 2 different parts of the country.
In and out, yeah. So I got to enjoy. The funny thing is, and if you don't fly a lot, which I do not, you forget. Like, I've flown in and out of Sky Harbor so many times. I get that routine. I know how it works. I know where everything is. But you fly into a much smaller, and I mean substantially smaller airport in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it's different. You don't give your bag to the Southwest airline agent. They put a tag on it, then you walk it to another place, and another whole area scans it. Like, you give it to a different person. It's all different. It was just odd. Just because it's so much more local and small.
Yeah, and they probably call themselves international because somebody flies to Toronto once a week.
And I don't even know if international was part of the airport name. I would have to look it back up. But would you look up the Gerald R. Ford?
I feel like
airport?
I'd be
delighted.
international.
Maybe it was
because they're close enough to puddle jump to Windsor.
But I did realize one thing. I didn't think there was an advantage to it. I subscribed to the TSA pre-check program where you pay $75-$80
worth every penny.
They check everything. I didn't realize leaving Phoenix. I didn't realize the advantage to it, but I really realized it there. Here, in a city as large as Phoenix, a lot more people are part of that program. There is a line. It is not the 8,000 people line that's over here for the general boarding or the general scanning. Oh no.
The great unwatched.
You don't have to take your laptop out of your backpack. You don't take your shoes off. You take your belt buckle.
That's
you
nice.
take your belt off.
Sure.
But it is so much more expedient. And when I was coming back through Grand Rapids, they had to pull somebody off of another line because nobody was in that TSA line. They had to, we'll be right with you. And they came right over, scanned through, gone, done. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really.
Because I have to get my passport redone this year. So
Do that. Well,
I'm
there's two different ones. You can do the TSA pre-check. There's also another one that's Homeland Security that's above all that. You just literally walk to the plane. You don't even give a shit.
Yeah,
that's the one you need to do.
One.
Plus, and there's some airports that have, and I love it. They have the line for people traveling with families, people that don't travel a lot.
I'm gonna tell you a story in a minute about that.
People that travel so that you don't get stuck behind the stroller, the car seat, every toy Johnny's ever had.
Because it's a pain and it has to be done.
Or
but
the people
not everyone
that wear
needs to sit behind that.
watches and earrings and belts.
Right, piercings and shit. Right.
I'm in slip-on shoes.
Flip flops if I can.
Yeah, flip-flops if I can get away
A
with
caftan.
Hey, if it gets me through that line faster, I am not above a moo-moo, people.
Right.
And it's comfortable, it's breezy.
Yeah.
So my flight leaves Phoenix on this past Saturday morning, and I underestimate how people travel because I'm thinking I can get to the airport in the morning. Like, my flight's at 7:30. I can get there by 6:30. I'll be fine. Nobody flies on Saturday morning that early is my thought. I am completely wrong on this.
Wrong, yeah.
Very wrong on this. Get to the airport, get checked in, everything's fine, yada, yada, yada. I was at risk at actually having my luggage not get on the flight because it was a late check-in, according to them, blah, blah, blah. Anywho, I get to the gate. And I'm standing there and I've got my boarding pass on my phone, like you do, yada, yada, yada. And I just am assessing the crowd around me and realizing the other people that I knew were meeting me for the flight were there. That's all good. Everybody's in place. And I look over and what I term them as a low budget Duggar family with questionable morals. There were 3 adults.
Quite the judgment.
How is that different than just calling them the Duggars?
Because they actually weren't the Duggars. I knew that.
Well played.
I looked at them and I out loud I said, "Oh Jesus Christ!" And there were 3.
And then they started to pray.
No, there were 3 adults and 10 children.
Holy shit!
God bless those adults.
Ridiculous.
And I swear, I'm sure Loretta Lynn was going to sing, and one's on the way somewhere. So I said it, and there were 5 older women, probably in their 70s, that were sitting around. And I said that, and one laughed, and she says, "Yeah, we already noticed that. We're not sitting near them." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ladies, for what I just said." She goes, "Oh, no, we've already said it." And I said, "Is there vodka on this flight?" And she goes, "If you didn't bring it, they better have it on the plane."
Yeah.
Oh my God, the people that fly with kids, I forget. And I think if I had the money, I don't know how successful, but I would think if you could get one flight in and out of any big airport in a major city, no children allowed. 21 and older airline, boom.
Yeah.
I think you got a market. You got a niche market there.
I'm good with 12 and up.
Well, you got a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that
Because once you can get them glued into an iPad or an iPhone, they're not
Right.
usually that bad.
Yeah,
It's-
once
it's
they're
the
old enough for
littles
Benadryl.
that are really hard.
Once they're old enough to slip
Oh.
to Benadryl too, good luck and God bless.
yeah.
At a year, you start.
I'm pretty sure the problem
Let's go Benadryl and up.
I'm pretty sure the problem was like we all experienced the air pressure, the ears, and the changing, and it was. I get that, but oh my God, when I saw them walk in, and everybody, you know how everybody reacts on a plane. You're already seated, and you see them walk in, and you're just like, oh,
eyes are big.
there are empty seats around me. Please do not sit near me. Oh, so what we did is.
No good can come of this.
What we did is, as a group, we collectively sat in all exit rows. They can't sit
Oh, right.
in the row,
Smart.
and typically not around us is what they did do. That was Southwest. Yeah, so it was interesting. But anyway, to Lansing, Michigan, it's so lush and beautiful. I forget that from being from Missouri. It is green everywhere, and I forget how beautiful that is.
It smells so good.
It's clean,
Yeah.
fresh air. What I did notice is they have the same shitty highway department apparently in Michigan that we have in Missouri, because there are sections where you go and it's just the whole damn thing just go like this. If you're at the wrong speed, the entire ride is like this.
Yes.
Man your horse,
And
ladies.
not in the fun way.
No,
Fun way.
no. I thought I was going to win the Triple Crown just riding in that tour bus or that little.
I had to laugh because
Gotta
I
stand up a little bit in your stirrups there. It makes the ride easier.
the rental car was
got
in my
your
name, so
stirrups.
I drove all weekend,
Wow.
and I was your best chance of a sober person. So,
Also, wow.
have you heard the stories about my family?
I sure have.
What? Do you know what car you were driving?
Oh,
Blue?
Don't give me a color. Don't give me a color.
I know. I believe it was white.
Okay.
I believe. It was a Tucson.
Oh, a Hyundai
Hyundai,
Tucson,
yep.
Yeah.
a little SUV.
Yeah. It was kind of like the old crossover.
Okay.
It sat a little higher up.
Uh-huh.
Same blind spots.
Okay.
But
Cross Tour.
yeah,
You mean Cross Tour? You had a Cross Tour.
cross tour.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
The Honda that.
Sounds like a word.
Honda- No,
Or
it was the-
Santa Fe. The Santa Fe is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
This was definitely a Tucson though, because then I had to
Yeah.
spell Tucson, and I'm like
Tucson.
Yeah.
Tucson, yes.
Every time.
Oh.
So, but I had to drive, and I you're driving the traffic. There's some construction. They're doing their own version of Carmageddon over the course of the couple weekends where they're closing down a major bit of road every weekend. So you're rerouted, and it's a little bit awful when you're going through their construction because they have it's bad traffic. I hit a pothole so fucking hard.
Oh.
And
It's awful.
but I screamed and thought the world was ending. And there's my family that live in Niagara Falls and Grand
Calm
Island.
down,
They're like,
Alfie.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I am not used to potholes. That is not part of my.
Well, no, because here it's 122 degrees, and if you hit a pothole, your fucking tire explodes.
Right. We're gonna stop here.
Right.
Change the tire. Yes.
That is very
But
true.
it is funny to, and Colorado's was in a drought for years. They were on, and they weren't on Hollywood, California fake water restrictions. They were on real water restrictions where they went right for the gold at the beginning. There was like no lawns, no this, no that. So they are really
They got
spoiled.
a beer to support.
So not only is their drought completely over, but like their aquifers are full. Like they're in like a really
that's
solid
Good,
place.
good place, right?
But now their worry is if they turn to drought, they just had all this tinder growing. You know what I mean? Like they just had all this
kindling just
all
grew.
this kindling just
Sure.
grew. So they're hoping that it wasn't like surprise. Now it's over.
Yeah.
But there was still snow in the peaks and everything. Really pretty. That is.
No, when we flew in, I saw that the Rockies still have a bunch of snow up there.
And so the aborted trip had some beautiful, just peaks and stuff. There's just some beautiful places. And found out that none of it should have been green. Like none of it had been green.
I'm surprised to find that, or to hear that you didn't have any other run-in with the marijuana than you only saw one thing on your way out of town.
Yeah.
Because when I was there doing the system, and I literally,
But I wasn't in Denver. I was in a suburb.
Oh,
So
I'm in downtown Denver,
Yeah.
and you can just stand on the street and smell. At least where I was, it may have been a questionable hotel. I'll give you that, but I was surprised.
What?
Like when we
At
got
a
there.
drag pageant?
No.
No, in
Last
Denver.
summer when I was
last
in
summer.
Denver,
Oh, okay.
doing installs for Charlie's.
we
Denver.
smelled it once outside a restaurant.
Not that I give a shit. I'm just
Yeah.
like, it was everywhere. And of course, the bartenders at other bars were like, oh no, you can't smoke it in public. Bullshit. They're on your patio. I see them.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, but I'm like, don't lie to me and tell me that what is it, Judge Judy? Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Yeah, I love it. Don't piss on that.
There's that. All right, well, kids, what's this? What's Jenny, don't lose my number.
6 kids, all 1 year apart, and I think we were well behaved. One of the first phrases I learned was single file.
And that's a good point, but that's something that's actually kind of just missing in public now. Like there are families out there that can take their kids places and be perfectly respectable people for the
Right.
most part. Like kids
Yeah.
are going to be unpredictable at all times, but like there are parents out there that have made it their mission to make them reasonable humans.
With
But
manners.
they're not the ones that you notice. They are never the
Right.
ones that you notice.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
the
extremist.
bad apple.
Yeah, it's the
Right.
extremist. This. It's the whatever. Like you always
the
notice.
squeaky wheel or whatever that phrase is.
You always notice
true.
the dipshits when
Yeah.
you've passed 8 other families where the kids are perfectly just fine. Like absolutely, Jenny.
We left a restaurant this morning after breakfast, and as we're walking out, Aaron was holding the door, and there were 2 little kids and a little boy, little girl, and the mom coming in, and the little boy kind of just was ready to walk through the door, and the mom just kind of grabbed the back of his shirt very gently, like, "Oh no, you're not going anywhere.
Not your turn."
Took his head, put it up toward Aaron's face, so he was looking up to her, and said, "Now repeat after me." And he was like, "Thank you."
Oh,
Good.
But it
Yeah.
was, but the way that she went about it was kind of like, I'm not going to attack him. I'm not going to yell at him. We're just going to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and whatever your
and it
method,
was-
it is practice. Like
it
it's
is.
practice,
Yep.
practice,
Sure.
practice.
By about
practice.
13 or 14.
Right. And he was he was adorable. And he was kind of like, dang it.
Ah.
You could tell. He
I
was
almost
like,
got inside.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
no,
gonna-
but you could tell he was like, I forgot.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
get
cute.
there.
It was
That's
really
good.
cute. I forgot. So it was
Very
really
good for
sweet.
him.
And then she
enjoyed that.
clicked something and threw him a chocolate. Parenting dog with
Sit,
brain,
boo-boo,
same fucking
sit.
animal. Yeah.
Same song.
Yeah.
Very much.
Oh, well, that's our catch-up time for this week. We're going to come right back with headlines and more stuff right after this. Stick with us, won't you?
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Are you ready for this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Alrighty, kids. Headlines. Things making the news and things not making the news. Right now coming at you on a Tuesday night. Here we go. A teacher suspended for harassing gays.
A gay hair salon.
Man breaks leg while having sex.
A little mini transgender.
You can be drunk on your own porch.
I want Caitlyn Jenner's heart ripped out. I don't, but somebody does.
Call 911. Somebody stole my pot.
I'm gonna come out of the closet.
And American Airlines don't give a fuck. These and other stories coming at you right now on Headlines on Q Talk America. Oh, good gosh. Well, let's head right to the penis of America, ladies and gentlemen. We know it as Florida. A Florida teacher been suspended for 15 days without pay this week after an internal investigation found that she harassed her students about their sexuality and even outed one girl to her dad. Southside Middle School teacher Kelly Hendricks, Google her, Kelly Hendricks told WFOX TV, that's W Fox for those of you who don't know how to spell, that she didn't understand why she'd been punished. She claims she only asked one student about his sexuality in order to help him combat classroom bullies.
And fight Satan.
And fight Satan! School officials launched the investigation into Hendricks' inappropriate behavior after fielding several complaints about it from various students. The public report found that on top of grilling students about their own sexuality, Hendricks also called them derogatory names like dumbass, gay, and retarded.
I have to say,
She's my friend.
I found maybe just a little picture of her.
Oh, the pictures.
She may be one of those.
She may be Honey Boo Boo's aunt, is what I'm thinking.
Or one of the 3 words that she likes to throw around.
Could be. Hendricks defended herself in an interview with W Fox TV regarding the time that she quizzed a young boy about his own sexuality. She said, quote, I called the boy outside and I said to the boy, I said, all of a sudden she's foghorn leghorn.
Yeah.
I called the boy outside and I said, boy, what's going on? And he said, kids are calling me gay. And I looked at him and I said, well, are you gay, boy? Hendricks said, he said no. And I said, well, why does that bother you? Simply like that, she says. Jesus. On another occasion,
I
Hendricks.
like when we do voices.
It is more fun.
I like it when she goes, blah, blah, blah.
A falsetto child.
On another occasion, Hendricks asked the boy, how do you know you're not attracted to a female body? Hendricks also claimed that the girl whom
Because I've seen yours.
Because this is my example of female.
if you're my goal in life, this is bad. Hendricks also claimed the girl whom she outed filed a complaint against her in retaliation. She says, quote, I feel like I should do this in Foghorn Leghorn again. I said, I teach 165 children a year. They pull me out of the class because of one complaint. One complaint. I've been teaching 21 years. She said, I love it. And now it is over for me. Apparently, she has retired.
We went from Foghorn Leghorn to Kevin Spacey
to Aunt Jemima.
No, to Kevin Spacey
I do like
Midnight in the
pancakes.
Garden of Good and Evil. That's where we went.
Yeah. I said.
So,
I like it when she goes,
in Florida.
I've been practicing that all week.
I can't say it enough.
Why?
When that movie comes on TV, I'm just in.
You have to
I
watch
have
it.
a
Stop
DVD
everything.
and VHS. Just stop what you're doing. Let's all just enjoy
just
it.
watch it.
It's a hell of a day at sea, sir.
A falsetto
Oh my God.
child.
Richard says if that's what pussy looks like, then I'll stick to bacon.
See?
Ooh, I do like bacon.
My thought was, can I just choke my own chicken?
Thank you, Drew. By the way, all celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. That's the disclaimer. Marty Ryer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Dum,
a
da,
Welsh,
dum,
a
dum.
Welsh hair salon is making a powerful statement after a customer refused to let an employee cut his son's hair because he perceived the man to be gay.
I read
At a
this.
hair
I did
salon?
read
At
this.
a hair
Yes.
salon? No!
Kill
Dad.
Surprise.
Come on.
Well, Kale Surprise.
I'll be damned.
I'm trying to use the phone.
I'm from Paris, Texas.
Russell Hughes, an openly gay man,
Oh.
runs Russell Paul Hairdressing, and it's in North Wales. He told the Daily Post that last
Do you have a
week
state
a
for
man
North Wales?
came
I'm sorry.
in somewhere.
Okay.
Preston, North Wales is what it says. Preston,
North Wales, like England?
Prestatin, I can't.
United
I don't know.
Kingdom.
It's European.
No, I think it is. I think that's our problem.
I have.
It is European.
Anyway, a man came in with a son who appeared to be about 10 years old and asked Hughes if anyone was available to cut his son's hair. The owner asked his colleague, and Richard Evans was going to do that. The man came up to me at that point and said, I'm not being funny, but you just said that lad's going to cut my son's hair, to which I replied, yes. He then said, well, I assume he's gay, and I don't want him cutting my lad's hair, so could you do it?
Yep.
And
We're
which
in
I said,
England.
no.
He just said lad.
Yeah, I know, right? Which I said,
But Lassie
no,
over here will have one.
I'm gay as well. The man then stood up and immediately left. The incident left the staff at the hairdressing salon shaken, and Hughes decided to take action. In order to avoid future interactions with bigoted individuals, he installed a sign on the front of his store. If you are racist, sexist, homophobic, or an asshole, don't come in.
Agreed.
I love it.
That's fair.
I'm going to put that on my front door here at the house. I think I should.
I love
Legit.
that. I was so shocked. You don't expect to be treated like that in this day and age. I've worked at the salon for 7 years, and I've never experienced anything like that. I think the new sign will make sure people like that don't come in here again. As the social climate has changed for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community, signs have become a useful way for businesses to declare
So we
their
get
support.
climate change, but the rest of the world doesn't?
Apparently. Earlier this year, the North Dakota coffee shop, I had done a thing on that, posted a sign that banned the state house representatives. That
Oh, yes,
voted
I do
against
recall
everyone,
that. Right.
Who voted to strike down the bill intended to protect LGBT community
Right.
from discrimination from patronizing the establishment. So it's kind of a good, people are putting things up, and we've talked about our sign, open for business.
To everyone.
And how, I mean,
But how
I hate to
ridiculous.
drive a stereotype home without an Asian at the wheel, but
That's only for
Should have seen that
pedicures.
coming.
Yeah, that's only for pedicures.
should have seen that one coming.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, a gay at a hair salon? Where are we supposed to work?
Can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of them.
They're touchy about the cat.
Oh.
That's true.
It's better to swing a purse.
So, on
Stop it.
fire. And that purse was on fire.
Exactly.
That baton was on fire.
And that's the night the lights
Lights went out in Georgia.
And your children may someday know
Oh, yes.
Marjorie.
Thank God we've all seen the same three things.
Oh, yes.
That's funny.
Well, because I got my welcome to gay kit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Toaster, Pop-Tarts.
I'm telling you, the designing women class 202 is tough.
It is tough.
It's a tough final.
It really is. There's really a lot to talk about there.
Oh, God. Marty, did you wrap up your...
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, here we go.
Do you wrap up that homo at a hair salon?
She's like, you've shit on it enough. Carry on.
Yeah, we're good.
Well,
I love it. A boy walks into a hair salon with a 10-year-old. That's just going to go wrong. That's a Duggar dream.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Duggar's dream. That's the name of my new boat.
Oh my God.
I thought it was a new playland.
Christ.
That came out really
That
wrong,
really
but I'm
did.
standing by it.
I support you.
Float him if you
own
got him.
that.
Well, it was a Texas man's third arrest for having sex with a horse.
Well, third time lucky.
No, that was the name of the horse.
Don't Google, don't Google
like
spunk. We've already learned. Don't do it.
Or Santorum.
Same animal.
Again, starting
shitty.
starting at the top. It was a...
Take two. Go.
Thank you. It was a Texas man's third arrest for having sex with a horse, and this time he paid for it in pain.
Ouch.
Cerrillo Castillo Jr., who is 45, was arraigned last week after a February incident in which he allegedly broke his leg while trying to have sex with a horse. It was
Hashtag doing it right.
It was
Yeah.
his third arrest related to the sexual abuse of a horse since 2012. He's been busy.
Something.
Hidalgo County Sheriff's Deputy.
Hidalgo. Really? Hidalgo?
Hidalgo
Is the name
County
of the horse?
Sheriff's.
Okay.
Oh.
No, that's the county name.
I know, but it's also a famous horse.
Okay, well, Hidalgo. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, okay.
In a movie about a horse.
I got Secretariat and the Pharaoh that just won. That's all I got. Hidalgo County Sheriff's deputies said a barn owner called about 7 a.m. on February 17th to report an injured man in her barn. When officers arrived, the woman identified the injured man as Castillo and said that he had been previously arrested for having sex with her horses in the same barn. In those cases, Castillo was ordered to stay away from her barn indefinitely. The suspect told investigators that he had been struck by a car on the roadway and crawled all the way to the barn for shelter.
This little piggy went.
Investigators believe that he was trespassing in the barn in an attempt to have unprotected sex with a horse.
Unprotected. What? Come on.
But was injured when the horse kicked him.
I think you can bear back that one.
The suspect was taken by ambulance to a local hospital and treated, according to the sheriff's report. But it wasn't until June 2nd that investigators drafted a warrant and arrested Castillo on charges of criminal trespassing. Now, if convicted, he could spend up to 180 days in jail, according to the McAllen Monitor newspaper. He was taken to the Hidalgo County Adult Detention Center and will have to pony up $1,000 bond. Now, back in September of 2013, Castillo received 5 years probation for animal cruelty after he was caught horsing around in the very same barn. Investigators said Castillo...
That's 2 puns. I can't let 2 go.
But I don't even write this shit. I lifted it from the internet. Investigators say Castillo tied a horse named India to her corral and performed oral and vaginal sex on her, the paper reported. The police report did not mention whether the same horse was involved in the most recent incident. Now, Castillo's first arrest in connection with the horse sex happened back in 2012. He was sentenced to 270 days in jail for public lewdness.
Well, now, I've heard of them taking the reins, but not being arraigned. So I think that's,
Good one, Marnie.
All right,
Good.
no, do not encourage that
How many more
behavior.
puns are we going to have? I say nay!
Till the horse comes. I mean,
Why the long face, Mr. Castillo?
no, why the long face, Tori Spelling?
Well, she wasn't getting a barn.
I gotta go.
She should have been. I know. Wow.
Richard, same horse shit. Yep.
Things that spiral down for 500, Jack.
Wait a minute, Richard. There's a video that shows. What?
I know. I'm trying to post
boy.
it to Facebook.
oh boy.
Tomo, I used to do voiceovers all the time, and I started in radio doing character voices.
He lived in a radio once.
Grew up in
Yeah,
it.
it was
They
ham
believe
radio.
it. They believe
Ham
that.
radio.
I'll say I lived in a radio.
You spent 2 years saying I grew up in radio.
Yes, you did.
I
What else
did.
are we supposed to believe?
I grew up in radio, and then I moved to Phoenix and grew up a lot more in a gay bar.
There you go.
Boy, howdy.
Different
You
song,
can take the
became
boy
a
out of the
man.
box.
but you can't take the boy out of the Wait a minute.
What?
Wait,
Strike that.
What
put the
happened?
boy back in the box. Boy in the box. Whose box is it, sir?
A boy. What was that again? What was?
I like it when she goes bah, 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 bah,
A delight.
I'm sure I have a lawyer.
I don't know.
Sure.
I'm sure I have a
Oh,
lawyer.
that wig. She's not very nice to my wife.
I'm doing my best. Doing my best, Tomo. Thanks, Richard.
Carry on, my.
So
Wayward son.
Laverne Cox, Orange is the New Black, has gone into the 3rd season, is out, and a lot of people have seen it. And if one more person puts spoiler alerts out there, I'm going to cry. Like, stop doing that. But Laverne Cox, beautiful,
Agreed.
a breakout star in Orange is the New Black, met a mini-me, a young transgender,
A little Cox, if
a
you will.
little Cox.
Stop
We've
it.
all met those. His name is Golf Pencil.
I like it.
Golf pencil.
I like it.
But
As a breakout
fucker.
star of Orange is the New Black and the first transgender person to be nominated for an Emmy, Laverne Cox is arguably one of the most recognizable faces in the LGBT and especially trans community. She represents a lot of things to a lot of people. Times changing, a greater acceptance of others, and the broadening spectrum of faces represented in the entertainment we all consume. For one little girl, Laverne Cox is just one thing, someone like her. M is a 7-year-old transgender girl. Her mother, Marlo Mack, writes about their experience in her blog as Gender Mom.
Everybody's got a fucking blog.
you should get
She
one.
also has a podcast called How to Be a Girl.
Everybody's
In
got
a
a fucking
recent
podcast.
post, she talks about this
should get
experience where M met Laverne Cox. She admits her daughter is not familiar with the actress's work. Like, a 7-year-old probably shouldn't be watching Orange is the New Black.
Probably not.
Not without the choke collar and the
Right,
taser we were
right,
recommending
right,
earlier
right.
for parenting.
I mean, I believe in early
Absolutely.
education, but wow.
Wow.
The mom had shown her daughter the photo of Laverne Cox on the cover of Time when it came out last year.
Yeah.
I think it was. And so Em had a vague idea that this was someone important who was also transgender. But the mom doesn't think that she really got it until they showed up for the event. earlier this year, she was speaking at Laverne Cox was speaking at an event, and they went. Most of the speech went over the young girl's head, but
Like it does.
but here's the message that I hope got through to them. Here's someone who is talented and smart and famous and loved by the multitudes, and she's also like you. Bless you. It was what happened after the speech that's special. Em and her mother were invited to a small reception following the speech, where the little girl was on a mission to meet her hero. She staked out a place by the door, and like a seasoned professional, she waited. Laverne waved her Hollywood wave at the crowd, thanked everyone graciously. Very good. Well played.
Thank you.
And then looked
Dramatic
down at
reenactment
the
of Hollywood Wave.
and then
Time
she,
check 7:59.
she looked down at the little girl that was blocking her path, and she said, "Well, hello." And the little girl said, "I'm Em." Laverne smiled down at her. "Hello, Em. And I'm also trans," Em said. I don't think that Ms. Cox saw what was coming. The crowd around her gasped their approval. Did you hear what that little girl said? They were all kind of muttering. Laverne seemed a little bit at a loss, but it's what Cox did next that really touches your heart. As she bent down to hug Em, she said, "Remember, honey, transgender is beautiful." And just, kind of embraced this little girl. And so they had this neat little meeting. Not planned, nothing intended to
Organic, if you will.
Organic,
Oh, that's good.
absolutely. And I just thought it was as far as the picture, I don't know that I can.
Is it her walking out of into a lobby? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's
And
a cute picture.
It really is.
And Laverne Cox is so fucking tall.
Yeah.
Over. No, there it is. Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, wow.
It's a cute
Yeah.
picture.
And always incredibly well dressed. Do you want to do the crossover and then we'll come back
Oh
and
no,
chat
we're gonna
about this?
No, we're gonna come back. Yeah. No, we can. No, you want to finish that up?
Yeah, no, that was just it was just a very sweet story, and I just thought I figured there was a lot of really interesting things we could talk about, and I would just kind of go with the.
Well, the thing with that, like, and it's caught me
So
a couple
important.
times before, where like in Transparent, it's someone who's not. It's Jeffrey Tambor
Yep.
playing a transitioning person. I got caught completely unawares by Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yes.
I truly thought they hit, like Corky from
Sure.
Yeah.
That's Life or whatever it was called. I really thought he was disabled. I'd never heard of him before. And up until he sat
DiCaprio?
there at the
You mean?
Oscars.
DiCaprio.
And,
Oh, yeah.
DiCaprio. Until,
Everybody
right
did. I
up
did too.
until
We're like,
even nominated for the Oscar until I saw him at the ceremony. I was like, oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I bought that hook, line, and
Yeah.
sinker. So when they did...
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you bought it.
Oh.
He really was.
No, he did. He played that character.
I had never watched the TV show that he was on.
There's
I
a
had
movie
never
I
heard
saw,
of him.
by the way. There's a movie I saw. So you're welcome.
Oh, very good.
Growing Pains.
Nope, had never seen
No,
it.
I know, but
yeah,
that was
my
Yeah.
introduction to him, and I just thought, well, that's wonderful that they're celebrating this. Like the guy with no arms from
Yeah,
The Best Years of Our Lives, who really has no arms. So I did not want to be caught off guard watching the first season of Orange Is the New Black, and then I didn't realize it's his brother that plays. When they flash back to that character Sophia. When they flash back to Sophia as a man, it's her brother playing the role.
Oh, I didn't know. I've
I
not
knew
seen
that
it.
either.
I didn't.
I've
know
not seen
either.
it. Sorry.
Right, because he's transitioned. He can't go back.
No,
and,
absolutely, but I just didn't realize it was his brother.
I just assumed good makeup tricks. I mean,
Absolutely.
honestly, like, Hollywood can do
so
all kinds of things.
I never wanted to say, like, I think this person might actually be transgender. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
didn't want to be caught
Oh.
one more time with saying something like, no, it's acting, asshole. But I was like, no. And then the whole thing, and I they did the whole the holding back the hormones and all these the story. Her storyline was so impressive that first year of like just opening up a dialogue that you don't think of if someone goes to prison and they've already transitioned into a woman, and then you deny them their hormones.
Right.
Then where do you put them?
Yeah.
And now you have it was just this it's such an incredible show, and that the
And such a
handling of that
sympathetic view of it, so that people could
and boy did
empathize.
Empathize is the right word, yeah.
To
It
be
is
able to
definitely the right
empathize,
word.
not sympathize.
Right,
'cause
exactly.
Right.
Empathy
That's why
is-
I was like, wait a minute.
You're
Yes.
right. You always aim for empathy, not
Yes,
sympathy.
Yes. So it was, but to write it the way that they did, so that people could be.
And I was like, and exactly,
Empathetic
and
to
I
it.
say it all the time because I'm always so like I'm not prepared for the T part of the
Yeah,
alphabet that
yeah.
we have to identify with. Anytime somebody shines a light on it, I'm so grateful because I'm like, well, I never thought about
Didn't
that.
know,
What
right.
are they doing there? What are they doing in the prison population?
Well, and how many people were up in arms about this because it's a 7-year-old. And looking at it and saying, "Oh, they don't know yet," and trying to go through all of this with age. I mean, that's a really
But all you can
big
do is
deal
tell
right
someone
now.
at any point you're beautiful. That's the right thing to
Yes,
say.
that's always the right
Whatever
answer.
you
Correct.
decide to be, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're
That's
important.
right.
I mean,
That's
it's
right.
as
Use
much
kind.
as we just
And if in 3 years they change their mind, they're still beautiful.
Yeah, you're
Just let
still
them be.
beautiful.
Right.
Absolutely. That's
All right, kids, you've done it. You've more than wasted an hour. Our first hour of
My
tonight's
God.
if
show.
you decide you're black tomorrow, go ahead.
You can work for the
We'll get
NAACP. All right, we got
What you done did.
a couple more headlines coming up and more. So here we go.
The show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. We are beginning what we call Hour 2. You call the midsection of the hostage situation. We're coming to you live from Studio C. We do it every Tuesday when we are here and available to do it. Thank you for joining us. My name is Clayton McKee. I sit here alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins. We bring to you a sundry of shit
For real.
on a Tuesday night, and
That's not a word.
some of you even like it. Again, Richard, Jenny, Tomo, Drew,
Harrison, Brand.
Harrison, so many
Yep.
people in the chat room.
Yep.
I had somebody send me a message earlier in the week wanting me to promote something locally, and my pushback on that was, we're really not a local show anymore. We are so much more listened to from Canada.
I don't think
and
anybody
India
nearby listens to us.
I'm finding that local listeners kind of roll their eyes because they know at least one of us.
right, they're like, yeah, whatever.
And they're
the fuck.
like, mm.
Yeah, more
I
you.
think,
the
I think
fuck
more
Aaron
you
does.
talking.
Right.
Aaron and Cozy.
Yeah, we don't need.
Oh
we-
yeah, Cozy,
Yeah,
Cozy listens
does.
on the regular. She
Mhm.
doesn't chat room, but Cozy listens
Right.
on the regular.
I think
She'll
that's right.
come.
We don't need to hear anything else you're already saying in the already. Yeah, you're right. You're talking more.
Because we've tried these jokes out on other people before we come
Yeah.
to the show half the time. So
And
they've heard
they
our shit.
bomb there too.
Yeah, crazy. So before we get to any more of our headlines, we got to get this out of the way. We call it the drinking disclaimer because the drinking game starts at the beginning of Hour 2.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Our word for tonight is spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert!
So I'm gonna try
I'll allow
and
it.
do 2 movie reviews without giving too
Is
many
there
spoilers.
is there any other incarnation of spoiler alert that we can
I'll
use?
go with spoiler in case you're just gonna ruin it and not alert people.
Oh.
We'll even go with alert if you just want to tell us about the breaking news.
The world needs more.
Titanic spoiler.
The world
boat
needs more
sinks.
alerts. That's good. That's good to know.
Titanic spoiler. Rose, let's go.
And Thailand is listening. So Thailand, please join us in the chat room. Find us.
Thailand has been listening for over 2 hours. They started with a previously recorded show.
In Thailand, we're live now.
Suffered through the transition, and now we are live. So whoever's in Thailand, yeah, I encourage.
Well, and
join us in the chat room.
Thanks, Thailand. Otherwise, they may have just left the room.
They could have.
You don't know.
They could have got bored. I get
Yeah.
it.
Came up in a pop-up window.
Did you
and
have
I'm
any?
like,
Did you have an additional follow up in regards to the previous story?
Well, spoiler alert. We were
Spoiler
talking about
alert.
transgendered.
Yes.
No, there's that conversation we keep having about women in media, in film and television.
entertainment?
And
if you will.
I really just think the bar has been set so high now by Orange is the New Black. And spoiler alert, I have not seen one episode. I didn't realize it started this Friday while I was away,
Yeah.
where I would have spent my airport time more constructively watching
Sure.
that.
Certainly.
Sure.
the fact that they got to so many roles for women and they're so well rounded, and as time goes on, each character gets more rich and more like.
And you get like every episode, you get background on a new character,
and the one that's the driver. Please, somebody help me with the driver's name. One that drives the car.
Morello.
Yeah. Her background.
Oh my god, that one blew my mind. I was
devastating.
Like,
that was a devastating episode of television. Yeah. I was profoundly
stunned,
moved.
Yeah,
but that we could get that many different sexualities, races, types, kinds, whatever you want to call it,
that's in there,
and to be so inclusive of all these women, and then to include a transgendered woman and do it so beautifully. What I thought was beautifully.
I agree.
And because it was about this is the stupid white woman story of whatever her butt is. The only character I don't like.
We hate her. No, yeah.
I really, I just honestly cannot take her.
Every time they go into her backstory, I fall asleep a little bit.
And I almost didn't watch it till I realized, and somebody helped me with the name, what her name is.
Piper.
The creator of the show.
I think it's still Piper.
Genghis Khan. The creator of the show.
Not the writer
because
of the book.
She did Weeds.
Yes.
And the reason I hung on till episode 2 was Weeds. Because Weeds was so well done.
Sure.
I mean, there was one bad season out of 7, but mostly it was just one of the.
A lot of people
are you looking for Genji Cohan?
Yeah, Genji Cohan. She's the one that took it. And as soon as you read her name, you're like, just hang tight for a minute or two. Like, there's going to be some bumps in the road.
Weeds was such a fun ride.
Oh, and
Elizabeth
it lost
me towards the end, but yeah.
But it came back, and then you needed to come back, and
I still need to.
I'll add that to the list of. Let me add that to my list of entertainment. Spoiler alert: entertainment's coming up.
Hooray!
All right, but not after
the next
your headline. What's your name?
Is that me?
Mr. McKee.
I think it's my turn.
Yeah,
I think it is. Here we go. Well, the Iowa Supreme Court has affirmed the right to be drunk on your own front porch.
Well,
Thank God.
Praise him.
Now, the court ruled on Friday in the case of Patience Pay, who appealed her 2013 public intoxication conviction. Pay called police after fighting with her boyfriend, who met officers on the front porch of her Waterloo home. While investigating the domestic assault complaint, an officer questioned Pay about whether or not she had been drinking. A test revealed her BAC, or blood alcohol concentration, at a 2.267%, more than...
Still not as high as Diana Ross. Spoiler alert, Diana Ross was drunker.
I'll take a drink of water. That was more than 3 times the amount considered for drunk driving. Now, she was charged and convicted, but she appealed, saying that her front porch is not a public place. And I agree.
I agree.
The Supreme Court agreed, declaring the front steps of a private residence not a public place if the homeowner has not invited the general public to be there. So good for her.
Let's just say if it's my front porch, the general public.
I make it a rule to not invite the general
If it's
public.
my house, like 4 people max, 7.
I know this is kind of pushing it for you. I understand.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I don't like what?
I just like spoiler alert, people are drinking rum.
Oh, I'm drinking tequila tonight.
Whoa.
I'm doing the I'm trying to wrap
Look
up
at
that
you.
margarita shit we got in my fridge.
You mean it's called tequila, not margarita shit. It has a name,
No,
goddamn
but there's the tequila and the margarita mix.
You spoke Spanish so beautifully earlier.
Oh, really? Don't pay no attention to my last name, only my first name.
Jeb.
Barney Ryer. I'm going to make a cocktail. You talk about something funny.
Well, yes.
Yep.
I don't know funny.
Technology's not your friend.
No, it's really not. I'm trying to find... I have it on my phone.
I was just
but
thinking, I hope it's as funny as that one funny story with the axe.
No, because I said that this one wasn't
Where
funny.
everybody
I
was
sure
dead.
thought that one
Yeah.
was funny. God damn, I still think that one was funny.
So did we somehow.
It's fucking funny is what it is.
Do we need a topic?
So, no.
Okay.
So, an Arizona pastor that we've talked about before.
Oh,
which
fucktard, yeah.
really, really takes me to a whole new level.
Spoiler alert,
Okay.
he's a fucktard.
Right.
Spoiler alert, really, really, really big fucktard.
Does he have a name?
Yes, his name is Stephen Anderson. He was the one who had come out predicting an AIDS-free Christmas if all LGBT people were put to death. Do you remember we
Pastor
talked about
Anderson,
that?
we sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Fucking twat waffle. So... Well, he really is. My God. I said
you're a twat
waffle.
waffle. I didn't even try to go.
No, I said
What's that cock's name? Foghorn
Laverne.
Leghorn. Laverne. Judges, both answers acceptable.
We'll allow
Spoiler
it.
alert.
Now that,
Two answers.
Okay,
now
go.
this fucking idiot has said that he has prayed for God to rip out the heart of Caitlyn Jenner and cast her soul into the fiery depths of hell. The fact that people go
Yeah.
and sit in his conversation.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this
Congregation.
works.
It's not.
That's
It's
right.
not how
That's
this
not how
works.
any of this works.
I unfriend you.
Such a good call. I wish we could just undo the fact that this guy's out there and that people actually pay attention and maybe listen to him. He had done this praying for the deaths of friends. He says is not a bad thing. You can do that and the deaths of your enemies, like he had done for Barack Obama. He preached last Sunday, that he had seen Jenner's filthy sodomite picture everywhere after the Olympic athlete and reality TV star.
I should have
Had
opened the
completed.
magazine. I didn't realize it was a sodomite picture.
For
It
real.
was,
I saw it
apparently.
in Fry's today, in fact.
With a
I was
great
in
rack.
Fry's.
He says, I've never even heard of him until this week. Really?
Really?
Bruce Jenner has basically mutilated his body, apparently. And he's being praised by our president. Our president is praising him. Duh.
Yeah. We got it the first way.
Or praising her.
Thank you,
We
George
don't even
W.
know what it is, he says. God, what a fucking moron. I think that Obama used the female pronoun about somebody named Bruce. I want to just kick this guy right in the fucking nuts. I can't.
we can drive
handle
there.
him.
See,
We sure
I mean,
should.
when I'm sober.
Right.
Well,
Spoiler
not
alert,
now.
drinking now.
Right now.
Right.
He said the president was praising the wicked. And he said this trans freak was being crammed down the throat of literally hundreds of millions.
That costs extra, I found out.
I heard that. Yeah, you had to pay that. He
Gently
says
placing it in the throat,
Yes.
$5. Cramming it down the throat,
that-
$55.
And the
Exactly.
Christian, like Jenny said, he's not a very good Christian, and that's the problem is when people stand, as we've said, behind the Christianity. Another hanger,
No,
another one
no.
The hanger missed.
Right, it's an
Yeah,
abortion
exactly.
joke.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to walk you through it.
No.
Give me
thank
your
you.
hand, honey.
Spoiler alert.
I'm going to walk you through an abortion
Spoiler
joke.
alert, I get it. Listen to me. He says, I hate him with a perfect hatred. That's his line. I hate him with a perfect hatred. I have no love for this Bruce freak. I hope he dies today. I hope he dies and he goes to hell. He's disgusting. He's filthy. He's reprobate.
See, here's the thing. It's people like this that I always wonder from our esteemed platform here, like, should we be giving them the time of day or should we just roll it up and stop giving them airtime?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, we've
No, because
now
you have
we've
to
given this
because you
man.
have to find out like that's
Who?
somebody might listen that's like, oh,
Yes.
that's my neighbor goes to church. Like,
Yes.
And
That's
is
the
it-
only reason.
is
Because
it-
otherwise
Sure.
I'm with you. The Westboro Baptist Church.
yeah,
This kind of stuff.
I just think
Any
it's
of
that you do have to call. You do have to call them out. I have a friend that's always like, well, if you give them attention, yeah, but you do have to because there are people that quietly listen. They're like,
Yes.
oh, this guy, he speaks the truth.
Right.
And then if they hear someone else of like, no, you're an asshole. If you believe this guy, they're like, oh, I never thought of that angle. You know what
Sure.
I mean? If you don't point it out,
a
and-
new perspective for perhaps someone.
Yeah, and the fact that he said the Bible had called for gays to be stoned with stone. No, he did. It does not. It does not. So stop with the bullshit that you just spew. You know he has these people in his audience that are kind of that he's molding. That,
Right.
You know, and that's where with what Al is saying, the fact that you know we don't know who is
in that congregation.
in that congregation or
Right.
who is just hanging out listening right here that might be like, oh, it's so you know
It's kind of like when you find
those
that person
damn
that's like,
gays, and then,
mom likes Fox News. Well, is someone going to tell her that she's watching like the Idiot Box?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
because she's sitting there thinking, well, it's on the TV, it's a
It's
news
legitimate.
channel.
Right.
But if somebody doesn't tell her,
Somebody has to
You
say,
know that's all
Mom, there's other
bullshit.
news out
Right.
there. Let's look at something else.
and that kind
No,
of
but-
rant
or
of
that
hatred
yeah.
is the thing that
Yeah.
underlyingly so that everybody can kind of just get the idea that this stuff is out there and but you know any kind of buying into it goes back to what we talked about. I think it was last week with
I think I just screamed about the Tonys last week.
no the
Or just screamed in
the
general.
cults. Was it last week or the week before? About
Spoiler
cults.
Yeah.
I
A
don't
couple
know. We
weeks
talk
ago.
about cults kind of a lot.
Because well, no,
I feel
but
like it's a
we
recurring
we were
theme.
really on a kind of a tangent about it, and this to
I think
me,
we were too drunk for cults last week. So I
This
think it must
to
have
me
been 2
fits
weeks.
into cult.
No, it does. Oh, it
Yeah.
it most
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely
Very
does.
much. Very
If you're
much.
willing to follow someone this stupid into the afterlife,
Yeah.
you're in a cult.
Yeah, because seriously, do you really
Look
want to hang out
around
with
you.
this fucking
You're in a
twat waffle
cult.
for the rest of it? No. God, being here with him is bad enough.
Yeah.
I hate this guy with the perfect hatred. Like, what a fucking moron.
I get my whole afterlife thing now. I mean, I believe in ghosts. Pretty clear on the believing in ghosts thing.
Delivery is very important. I get my whole. There was a pause. What now? You get what?
I get my whole
Thank you.
thoughts on life and the afterlife. I mean, I believe in ghosts, but I go with Lost. Dead is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that struck me as so profound.
Sure.
But
Oh, that's always that. It really has always been
and
my
in,
thought.
in my profession too. Like I say that under my breath more than I say it out loud, unfortunately. But dead is dead. Like you're dead. I'm sorry. It's over. I do believe in ghosts firmly and completely. I don't know where that fits into the whole spirituality
That's a
thing.
little. That's a little jacked.
And
I believe
don't know,
completely
ghost
because
guardian
and it's only
angel,
because
something.
I've seen a ghost. You know what I mean? Like I can actually say because I have seen a ghost, I have to believe in them. I don't know where they fit into the broad spectrum of life or where they're habitating. They certainly did not tell me about where they were. I just saw them, felt them. You know, a couple senses were involved. Smelled one.
That's weird.
Wow, that is weird.
That could have been the liquor.
I say.
I feel like you
smell.
should not go around smelling ghosts in polite company. Just
Right.
It's probably a good idea to not breathe deeply when you're in the presence of the spirit.
Wow.
No, but I really do believe it. Dead is dead.
That's my theory
ain't
as well.
coming back.
It's my theory as
No,
well.
ain't coming back.
And if I am, it just has to be thinner. I need some help.
All right, carrying on. Authorities say a South Florida woman who called 911 to report that she was getting stiffed in a drug deal
Good times.
ended up actually reporting
good
on
times.
herself. She now faces charges including drug possession. The Broward Sheriff's Office reports that a 19-year-old, Danisha Heller, told a 911 operator Tuesday that she went to a Fort Lauderdale home to buy marijuana, but a man there took her $5 without giving her anything.
I'm a well-known prostitute.
Officials say a deputy checked a white substance in
Did
Heller.
she have a coupon?
A Groupon.
3209.
3209.
Officials say a deputy checked a white substance in Heller's pocket, which tested positive for alpha PVP, a psychosis-inducing drug, also known as Flakka, Flakka. Flakka, whatever.
Also a character on Orange is the New Black. Flakka.
Flicka.
The South Florida Sun Sentinel reports.
No, that's a horse.
Spoiler alert.
Flicka.
I flicked the horse.
The South Florida. I'm gonna try this again. The South Florida Sun Sentinel reports that Heller was charged with drug possession and misusing the 911 system. Jail records show Heller was in custody without bond for violating the terms of her release on an unrelated misdemeanor battery charge. Jail records did not list an attorney who could be contacted for comment on her case.
No attorney on record. Huh?
$5?
I know how much pot
What are you getting? Like 2 hits?
But I
off
don't
of
know.
that?
This story was written in 1976.
But I don't know what.
Spring of.
I mean, a dime bag is no longer a dime, obviously, but that's just a phrase that's
I
used.
think it's 100.
Is that what it is?
I think they may have just.
I have no
moved the
idea
decimal
what
point
these.
over.
Metric system.
I have double it and add 30. It's metric.
That's fancy.
I don't. But I have no idea what that actually equates to. A dime bag is what?
I believe it's $100 now. Granted, I was shown no love in the
And how
Colorado.
much is it? I don't know how much.
Depends on the going
What are
rate.
you buying?
Whatever
An ounce?
$100.
Happening.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Whatever $100 would buy.
If
Usually,
anybody,
again, metric. I think drugs are usually sold in grams.
Pot's not.
Pot's not. No, pot is ounces and pounds. That's true.
Yeah, they've stayed American.
thank God you two are here.
Seriously.
They've stayed on the American system. I only believe in American drugs.
Okay.
I'm a well-known prostitute. She stole my $20.
Ryer, your final story.
All right, my final story.
Spoiler alert, it's your last story.
Spoiler alert. A teenager comes out of the closet in a senior yearbook quote, and the internet applauds him. This was wonderful.
I have not read the quote yet. Spoiler alert.
Take a moment to look at Maxwell Barrett's completely perfect senior yearbook quote. He's a handsome little gentleman. The other quotes they say don't stand a chance in between his. So it says, "Of course I dress well. I didn't spend all that time in the closet for nothing." And he came out of the closet.
Good work.
Nicely done.
Yes. How great is that? It says, "I want to high five him through the internet." Then again, in person, then again metaphorically by writing this article. It's thoughtful, funny teenagers like Maxwell Barrett that make me hopeful for future generations and less afraid of teenagers as a species. The class of 2015 have been making some serious waves with their witty yearbook quotes, and this one is certainly a top contender. If you take a look at it, you'll see this quote has been covered by a ton of news outlets, and he's receiving a huge outcry of support. He told Today, I am in awe. I cannot express how amazing it is to see the amount of support I am being given and the love that has been shown towards me. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that people from all different backgrounds are being inspired by my story. It's so wonderful that this teenager came out of the closet to find it's much brighter on the other side. Since becoming internet famous, Maxwell's tweets have been on point. There were 3. Imagine, Gaga's seen this picture of my quote. I think I'd have heart palpitations. And he put, when I look through my yearbook in 30 years, that quote is going to make the best story ever. Mm-hmm. And he's just a wonderful young man, and he is really a cutie. Did you see him?
I did.
Let me see the picture again.
I did. I saw the story.
It should pop up a little bit more. But
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah, cute kid.
He's a good-looking
Je
kid,
proof.
and he's
Je
just
proof.
and I just thought that was fantastic because you go through and you're reading all of that, and well, I didn't spend all the time in that closet for nothing, so it was wonderful.
That's fun.
Good on him, and hopefully he has a continued happy little life.
Good on him. To circle back with some factual knowledge here.
Spoiler alert, she's circling
What?
back.
Oh.
Wait, we're gonna have facts on this
Oh,
this show?
From UrbanDictionary.com. So take
Oh, all right.
Fair enough.
Dime bag is a general term for $10 worth of weed.
Oh,
Back in the day, a quarter of an ounce, approximately 7 grams,
What day was that?
only cost, I don't know, the day, back then.
1984.
I would say 70s.
I would say so too.
I'm going to go with 1984 when I...
1984, there you go. Quarter of an ounce,
Spoiler alert.
approximately 7 grams, only cost $10. An eighth costing $5. Thus the terms nickel, dime, and nickel bag and dime bag. Some circles still refer to the quarter ounce as a dime bag.
Okay.
Although the price is considerably higher.
Considerably changed.
Now, someone had, Jenny, sorry, I don't mean to out you, but she has a menu from the medical Mary Jane stores, we'll call it.
That is legit. I'm in.
And then she says they deliver
Can I have a dime bag of the purple haze and then a number 2?
the Girl Scout cookie for being...
And then I'm gonna need a large thin crust with extra sauce and pineapple. Thank you very much. Oh,
Harrison says she has a fridge magnet that says don't come out of the closet until you have something fabulous to wear.
That's
We do love a
wonderful. I like that.
Due to timing, circumstances, and polyester, I was not able to abide by that rule.
Oh,
Now you have a lot of fabulous to wear.
I kind of backdated around.
okay.
That's wonderful, Harrison. I love
People
that.
may remember photos of me this week that surfaced wearing tube socks.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
what can
that
only
was
be described
fantastic.
At a
as
campfire.
neon blue sneakers.
Yes.
The campfire picture I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, in that...
In my defense.
Tube socks will remain indefensible.
Indefensible.
Especially up to your knees.
If they ever bring back the
Yeah.
Nuremberg trials, that'll be on there.
Okay.
Just crimes against humanity. Spoiler alert, they're a crime against humanity. I do have to say, though, that Curie Beach t-shirt, the ringer tee with Curie Beach with a palm tree. There are no palm trees on that coast, I don't think, that I remember. That Curie Beach palm tree, I wore that, and seriously, the day that I found it in the rag bag, I don't know if other families do this, that when your t-shirts get old,
Yeah, we did it.
you make a rag bag, and that's what you clean the house with.
Yeah,
You just,
yeah.
they
Cut 'em up,
serve a
yep.
purpose, then you throw them away. It was kind of repurposing something.
Yes.
The day that I saw that filthy garment in the rag bag, I cried and held it up to my mother, and she's like, "All right, put it on."
And did you?
No, 'cause
Oh!
it was disgusting.
Oh.
But I wore that thing out, and the fact that there's photographic memory of my favorite T-shirt as a child. I wore a Charlie Tuna bathing suit and a Curie Beach T-shirt for long after it
There
was
Longer
are
than
appropriate.
it
so
was
many
prudent.
puns.
Threadbare.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. Only the backside's getting bigger.
Oh my gosh. All right, in our final story in the actual headline section.
Well, luckily, Harrison says it was the 8th grade. Luckily, I can claim it was the 5th grade.
age is
summer-
just a number.
God, that's great.
Right.
My favorite headline of the week is this one. American Airlines doesn't give a fuck if homophobes don't like their LGBT support. American Airlines is once again showing their support for LGBT Pride Month by changing their Twitter avatar to a rainbow flag logo, which I will put up on our video feed. If you haven't seen this, that is what it looks like. It is their rainbow flag with their logo. Nathan Lorick, Director of Evangelism.
J'approve.
Director of Evangelism for the Southern Baptists of Texas Convention, sent a tweet to American Airlines on Sunday night to complain about the airline's delays, writing, "Flying American Air without delay is highly unlikely, always delayed. One reason I have not flown them nearly as much in this year." Now, American Airlines responded to his tweet saying, at Nathan Lorick, "We're sorry for the delay, Nathan. We see, however, that you are on your way. We will have you home shortly." Now, when Lorick apparently noticed that the company had a rainbow flag in their Twitter avatar, he tweeted back asking, at American Air, "What's the deal with the rainbow colored image?" They tweeted back, at Nathan Lorick, "June is Pride Month across the globe, and we are proud to support our LGBT community and its allies." Well, American Airlines explained that they changed their avatar, obviously, for Pride Month. I get all that. Now, Lorick fired back again, saying, at American Air, "Seems like a poor choice from a company that certainly has many customers who do not agree with their lifestyle. Hashtag disappointed." Now, proving that they don't give a fuck what homophobes think about their support for LGBT people, American Airlines fired back with this simple message. At Nathan Lorick, "We're sorry for your disappointment."
Oh, that's
And I
great.
love it.
Yeah.
I need to tomorrow sign up for whatever rewards program, point system, frequent flyer, American Airlines. I am on board for that.
You bet.
Sorry you're upset. Not sorry. Fuck you.
Yeah, except for
No.
the time that they left me in Mexico without a prayer.
That was before
Well,
they
sure.
supported your people.
That's right.
Right.
And before you jump on every bandwagon of every company that puts out a rainbow logo, I was just reading an article today, and I forgot to bookmark it, or I would go find it, but I can't find it. About there are companies that will slap some rainbow shit on there, just hoping that you'll sign up for this, especially being Pride Month.
Sure.
Sure.
No,
So,
and I agree with you.
You know, like
it's all about the dollar. They're looking for gay
Yeah.
dollars because they know that a lot of
Yeah.
gays, not all, have disposable income that they're just willing to throw around.
Sure, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
'Cause they don't have kids.
believe that they're on your side just because Adidas put out rainbow sneakers. Like,
Right.
you know, Adidas didn't always have the
That's
greatest human rights ratings.
And Coors Beer, another one that you just were in their brewery.
And you have to support them because they caved. They were the first person to cave to gay pressure back in the 70s.
Right.
yeah, when they were
When-
dumping out all the Coors Beer from all the gay bars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was a
And the vodka's
that was a
more
union
recent.
thing. That was a union issue. Another time where the gays came to the support of another group that then turned on them a little bit, but first they worked with them. But
Right.
if you don't know the story of Coors was trying to stop unions in their I can't remember if it was distribution or where in the Coors family they were trying to get rid of unions, and so unions were trying to get bars to stop carrying Coors. So gay bars were the ones that jumped on the bandwagon in support and in solidarity with the unions.
Right.
And when the unions found out, unions got on board with gays, with gay rights, and that's how in San Francisco.
That
that's
was during the whole Harvey Milk.
the
and
Harvey
all
Milk
of
thing.
that
And again,
stuff.
because
Right.
Yeah.
that documentary was not really about Harvey Milk, they had to cover all those other things.
Sure.
And the union people were like, "Oh, when the gays get pissed off, they band together like a pack of wolves. They
we can fuck up some shit.
they boycott in a pack," and they were so impressed. And if you've seen the movie Pride from last year, which was nominated for a Golden Globe, there were
I haven't seen it, but yes.
oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I hate to go to a gay word, but spoiler alert, gay.
Fabulous.
Spoiler alert, very.
Richard, if you've watched the show for the last, 20 years, I've been wearing Old Navy
Yeah.
since about 1995.
Yeah.
No.
It is
Love Old Navy.
because they don't
It's
put
fine.
they don't put their names
Yeah.
on anything.
Yep.
They are label free. You never know
You
I'm wearing
can
a
get labeled.
it's
for-
right
yes.
here. It's right
Yeah.
here behind your neck. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you will
Oh.
never know that that's all I wear is Old Navy. Constantly, every single thing is
And
Old
an
Navy.
interesting color. It's like a sherbet almost.
I like that.
You do, this is sea foam. Seriously,
I
he
would
loses
go
all
sea
gay
foam.
points. So, anyways, Pride is
I just
about.
spent 48 hours with transsexuals in a pageant.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm gay
You
points over.
you're full up
Yeah,
on the gay.
you. Spoiler alert: you may be gayer than me. This
Yeah,
week.
Six
Sam's
months
Club
in.
should give me a discount on gas at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, Jesus.
I don't know what you're doing with a nozzle in that
I know.
story.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Hey, hey.
So, anyways, in
slow
Pride,
down.
one of the gay guys is trying to find something. They want to do something with their money, and the miners are on strike because the whole world hates Margaret Thatcher because she was a fucking cunt, like Ronald Reagan, but without the Alzheimer's. She was aware of what she was doing in cunty.
Son of a
And
bitch.
so one of the gay guys decides to start raising money for the striking miners, and the miners in England have to make their peace with the fact that there are gays supporting
them,
and the
yeah.
town has to
And
make
how
its
does this,
peace
like-
with. They're a Catholic town.
We've talked about this several
Yeah.
times on the show.
And I
over the
can't
years.
remember. I get all the religions in England confused. I can't remember if
They're all a cult.
they're
Church of England.
Church of England or if they're
Right.
Protestant or where they fall in
Or
the
Republican,
Irish
whatever.
Catholic thing. But they have to make their peace with it, with the fact that they're getting their money from gays and the friendships that developed and why the gay cause was furthered because the unions then fell in line with the gays
Right.
and supported them right back and
gonna
got gay
support
rights
you, you
almost
support us.
immediately.
Sure.
Which oh, it is not lime green. Richard, turn off your TV immediately and start
Not
just
even
listening.
kind of-
Yeah, adjust your monitor,
adjust-
sir.
I'm going to try to
Yes.
adjust that camera to see if
Yeah.
I get a bigger, better.
This is neither lime nor Kelly green. Spoiler alert.
No.
I wear pastels because I
It is-
think I'm tan.
Oddly, it is a medium.
Because in
though.
my mind, I'm tan.
It is a
And it's
medium.
1984.
It's a,
It's a medium. God bless both of you.
that, I'm just lying. I'm just saying.
So there you go.
I like it. Oh.
So what next?
Having so much
Spoiler
fun with
alert,
this.
he's doing something else.
So much fun. It
no,
should be.
no, that's the end of all of that. God damn it, that makes me laugh.
do
We're
it.
done with headlines. It's 8:35. Thank you for suffering through all of that. It's time to go to Al Perkins, who has absolutely nothing prepared.
I'm not on the right page for this, but I never am.
No shit.
Veep had its season finale, and we have a little math about that.
I have some Veep. I have an input on that.
Nurse Jackie is coming to a very good end. True Detective is coming up. I have a couple movie reviews, and then a couple updates from web pages that I should be on or was on at one point.
Oh,
Sorry.
And that's entertainment.
oh my God.
I'm riveted.
Aren't you? Aren't you though?
I'm sure, yeah, it was my delivery. So
Flawless.
I heard a Foo Fighter quit. So I don't know which Foo Fighter.
Was
or
it the
what.
one that broke his
a
leg? Yeah.
Dave
So
Grohl.
he quit.
He
But
quit?
he's the main
Wait,
Foo
He
Fighter.
could not have
What the
quit.
fuck?
He
He
must-
is.
he
He
can't
went
have
back
quit.
on
I got that
stage.
story from my sister. So let's just.
He
He
cannot-
went back out on stage and like was playing
For
with
2
a broken leg.
hours.
Yeah.
All right.
He cannot have quit.
I got that story
Stand
from
by.
my sister. So let's just.
I like how
put
we're
that into
chastising
context.
Al like a motherfucker. Like he's the end all story source. He can't even figure out other things.
My
I
sister
don't see
can't
anything
watch
about it.
movies that have more than 2 characters
Now,
because she
what
finds
did
the
happen,
plots too confusing.
What did happen though is that Dave Grohl is the baddest motherfucker in the world because he did fall off stage,
right?
broke his motherfucking leg, took a minute and said, "No, I'm good. Somebody come here and like wrap this up," and continued to play
Yeah.
the rest of
Yes,
his set
did the whole
with
set.
a broken leg
Yeah,
on stage.
yeah.
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 Was it his tibia that he broke?
Or Fibia.
I thought I read that.
Stand by, I don't know.
Oh, somewhere.
Sure enough,
Something-
broke his leg,
something on
2.5
his leg.
hours.
Blah blah blah. Rhymes with.
So while she says it's spoiler alert.
There's. I saw
I
the
got nothing.
picture. I saw that picture. That's the X-ray.
That one right there.
Scroll up. I saw
The
that.
X-ray?
Yeah, I saw that.
Broke the little one of the 2 bones. Which one's that?
It's a Fibia or Tibia.
Well,
I
show
don't know.
Al.
Oh, it's which one's the little one?
Al
I
Al works in a
don't know.
restaurant.
Tibia is the little
That
one.
one.
Because the fibia
Is that above the knee or is that above the ankle?
Post-tibial.
Sure,
So that'd
nobody
probably be the
knows.
Fibia. I don't know.
Nobody.
Jesus,
I
what
think
help
it's
are
the
you?
tibia. Go ahead and flip
Anyway.
it.
I'm not
the
a-
leg bone.
Read the story.
You
Broke
break
the
a
leg bone.
So, anyways, that came from my sister. So I just want to let you
So
know
it's
that
Do we have to
Hearsay
give
that
her
I
credit
love
as a
Richard
contributing
Jessica.
editor?
we do, but she just got fired. So
Which
that's
which sister is this?
Debbie, the one who knows nothing.
Oh, I know Debbie. I met her.
Did she?
God bless her, but
Debbie Perkins.
fired.
Fired.
Your last paycheck will be the same as your first.
It was a lie.
Oh, Debbie Perkins.
Yeah, there's no news for him quitting.
I may call this whole show Debbie Perkins fired.
That is
That's funny shit.
that's spoiler
You're
alert. Debbie
fired.
Perkins got fired today.
Yeah.
We could have Donald Trump announce it.
Yes. Shit.
All right. So let me see. So
He
Maleficent.
quit smoking pot like a year ago
Maybe that's
because
what
of the
she means.
Kardashians.
Who? David?
Dave Grohl.
Oh, Dave Grohl.
Well, that's what this headline says.
Jesus Christ! And now my computer just crashed.
Dave Grohl reveals
How
the
do you-
Kardashians made him quit smoking pot. Wait, I'm gonna click on it. We're gonna read it so he can reboot his shit.
All right, go ahead.
I'm on board for that. How long has it been since you've rebooted that? Like completely restarted?
No, it's a long
Experts
story.
agree that a pivotal moment for getting off drugs is hitting rock bottom. For some, that means getting divorced, but rock bottom is different for everybody. In Dave Grohl's case, it was finding himself watching the Kardashians that convinced the Foo Fighters frontman to quit smoking pot. That does sound like rock bottom to me. Like, if you ever
Yeah.
find me on
But
my
I don't-
couch, like, binge watching the Kardashians, just whatever
Yeah.
I'm on, just
Oh, kill me.
take me to make me go to rehab.
And then you should probably shoot my drug dealer too, if that's what that drug
Right.
led to. Whatever I
And you
was
know how you
doing,
can find his drug dealer? There's a
That's
receipt.
okay in there.
He has a receipt.
I do keep proper bookkeeping.
You and
So
Whitney.
anyways-
You and Whitney.
So I just laughed because my sister, who gets every
Still
story
dead.
wrong,
Love it.
my niece does. She's been doing makeup for movies. Like she's
Oh,
done.
On
that's
set?
fun.
She's on like her third or fourth movie of doing makeup and hair, and I'll ask my sister, I'm like, "What's the movie about?" Oh, I don't fucking know. But she'll tell you what they had at the food table because all she cares
The
about is what
craft
they ate.
services.
Right.
Craft
I'm like,
services.
your niece is making a movie. Ask pertinent questions. She pisses me off.
You need to text more with your niece.
No, I did. So
Okay.
I have the trailer.
Take Debbie out of this.
Oh, yeah, we had to.
All right.
But I got the trailer for the movie, and it looks really good. It comes out in October. It's a horror movie. This
Okay.
last one she did because she likes prosthetic makeup.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
I
fun.
sit down at breakfast with my sister the other day at the hotel, and she tells me the Foo Fighters. Somebody left the Foo Fighters, and I just like filed it in the back of my brain and was like, all right.
Falling off stage equates to
Yeah.
leaving Foo
No,
Fighters.
but then the
Got
top
it.
story on EW's headlines is Foo Fighters canceled June tour date. So I didn't open it. I went with stupid piece of information I had over coffee and a bagel mixed with this headline.
Making the leap, like
Yes,
you
yes.
put the bridge
Yeah.
over troubled waters.
Yes.
Oh, and
Oh.
how troubled
When
the
you're-
waters
when
were.
you're-
waters were not
Spoiler
that
alert,
troubled.
don't canoe here.
When you're weary
Yeah. So anyways,
or down and out.
Information using sparingly.
Penny Dreadful got renewed for season 3. I am not caught up on season 2 in any way, shape, or
Oh,
form.
I need to write
I'm
that down.
Very sad.
Isn't that a Showtime thing though?
It is, and it's kind of sexy. It's got that Ava Green that everybody's into that I do not understand her appeal. And it's supposed to be all of your gothic characters, your Frankensteins, your Dorian Grays, your Jack the Rippers, all mixed into one story. And that sexy beast, what the hell is his name? Josh Hartnett.
Oh, wow.
Love
he hasn't
him.
been
He's-
around for a while.
Oh, but he's in this, and he is
What
sick.
was he
Yes,
at? Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Something
He's in
wrong.
every bad movie you've ever seen.
But before,
Right,
he's in a couple things, yeah.
40 Days, 40,
40
nights.
Days, 40
The one where he has
Nights.
an erection during it, and you're just
Yeah.
hoping it's that big. Please, God.
Oh,
Please, God. Spoiler alert,
I heard that
please,
wrong. I
God.
thought it was a Freddie Fender song. Wasted days and wasted nights.
Well, he was wasting them because he
There's
wasn't
it.
pumping it into me.
Spoiler alert.
So, there's that.
Out of
In,
control.
in, in really
Out of
strange
control.
news, and as a two-time addict and two-time on the wagon person, and it is killing me that I just cannot. I cannot. Despite what ABC is telling me, I am unable to.
What is wrong with you?
Luke is leaving General Hospital.
Yes,
And
Again?
Gary-
Yes.
No,
No,
for the
no.
first time ever, he has never
has
even
never
attempted
left.
to leave.
Not
He is
since the 70s?
He's the longest running character on daytime television ever. He's never left. He just won his, I think now he's the biggest winner in Emmy history.
I didn't
too.
even know
That could
General
make sense.
Hospital was still on.
The only ABC soap still left because of their. So he's leaving. They brought back Laura, and I said, nay, I shan't. I shall not. Conjugate that however you want to. But now Jonathan Jackson, who played Lucky, is coming back, and I, in my second addiction, and the rehab was hard for the
Yes,
second
yes,
time.
yes.
Are you
because of
back?
Carly.
Are you back off the wagon?
No, I can't do it. I can't
No.
do it. But if somebody's
No.
watching, please send me tapes or give me updates
I mean,
because.
when I
Did you
had
just say
heard that,
send
I
me
thought-
tapes?
Oh,
Yeah,
send me
right?
whatever you got to.
Get the
I will find a
VHS out.
I will find a
Oh, he
VCR
has
to get
one.
that
He has
heroin in
one.
the veins.
I'm pretty sure my grandma's
Clayton
probably
has
still
one.
taping it. I'll call it.
I have two.
All right,
VCRs.
please send
There you
your
go.
tapes and self-addressed.
I do not have a beta, so I just have VHS.
Aaron, I understand that Josh Hartnett has the acting abilities of Patrick Swayze when he was alive, where he was either
Or
happy
maybe
or
not. Maybe he's still
constipated,
dead.
and you had to decide what Patrick Swayze's inability to poop meant.
I'm gonna
Sad,
just Google
confused,
Josh-
about to start a fight in a roadhouse.
He's a cutie.
I'm going to Google Josh Hartnett again just to remind myself.
He's cute.
He's got the skin of an angel, and I just cannot express that enough. Like, every time you see him on the big screen, that skin, you know how I am with skin. I'm kind of like the Silence of the Lambs with that shit.
Right. She puts the lotion.
Oh, and he did put the lotion on his skin because it is looking good.
I don't need that. Anything to do with this.
And now he's slightly older. He's just very handsome. And
He looks like the Fishburne kid from Roseanne.
What?
The kid that played what's his name? John what was
DJ?
DJ. He looks like
Oh
the
God, Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
he looks
Not
like the
even
kid
a
from yes.
little bit.
Spoiler alert: no.
That kid didn't grow up.
Clearly,
very
you've
cute, though,
smoked
did he?
something between your last viewing of
Seriously.
Roseanne and looking at
Hang
Josh.
on, hang on.
No, he looks like DJ to me grown up.
No,
And no, unless DJ went a whole different direction.
Hang on, we're gonna find out.
Something.
Who was that kid? Well, yeah, because that
Jo-
kid got kind
something Fishburne,
Oh.
fish box, fish in a barrel.
You and me going fishing.
Okay, Richard, I don't know a lot of things, but that's not how you spell
That's not how you
Hartnett.
spell it.
No, it's not. It's Hartnett.
Yeah.
Not Hart.
But
Richard,
anyways,
come on,
and
Richard.
there's a couple legitimate spoiler alerts in the first season that make you want to come back for season 2, which I just haven't started and I will.
Okay, that's
All
that's
Specimen 1, Josh.
Josh
Hartnett.
Hartnett, and then
Yeah.
where's the Fishburne
DJ
kid?
Tanner now.
No.
Looks the
That's
same.
Sean Hannity.
No,
I hate jerking off to Sean Hannity.
I have never done jerking off anything.
It's
to
not
that.
DJ Tanner. DJ Tanner was on Full House, but DJ from Roseanne.
DJ,
same song.
right? No,
Yeah.
that's
What was their last
Oh,
name? Connor.
Drew,
DJ
stop
Connor.
it now.
DJ Connor.
Right. Let's see.
It looks
that's
the
cute.
same to
Grown up.
me.
Not even a little bit.
Now,
But no, Josh Hartnett.
he just has that skin.
Josh Hartnett looks
Josh
more like
Hartnett?
DJ did when he was younger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and those little.
What's his name? Fish
He
White.
needs to do something
All
with
right,
those eyebrows,
can I just
but-
spoil
no,
the spoiler
no.
alert?
Can I interrupt you for just a minute? I realize it's your segment in my show. What's his name?
Now it's his show.
Now do you feel like? What's his name? Fish what? Fish out of water? Fish called Wanda? What's his name?
DJ Connor. That's what I googled.
No,
I don't fucking know.
What's the actor's name? Fish.
Fishback.
Oh, was somebody in the chat room, please?
Help us.
Fish.
Oh, fuck off. Richard, stop drinking. So, spoiler alert, Richard, you're drinking too much. You're getting belligerent, and that's my job.
Turn on Donna Summer.
Yeah.
Michael Fishman.
Michael Fishman. Thank you, God.
Cleaning up.
Fish lips. Baby fish lips. Yeah, because that's the phrase that's sweeping the nation.
Fish called Wanda.
Anybody got that movie? Besides Harrison? Baby fish lips.
Perkins, you may continue.
Pray continue. Okay, anybody but Harrison gets the baby fish lips reference, please put it in the chat room.
I don't understand
Or
anything.
Facebook me later. Okay, so I already talked about that one. So we'll go to True Detective is about to happen. I think it's next Sunday on HBO. And I was not completely sold on our new cast, but let me tell you about the HBO promotion center commercials. Spoiler alert, however it is they make advertising happen on HBO.
Yeah.
That looks fucking good. And I am on pins and needles waiting for next Sunday.
Me too. I agree. Me too.
Oh, enough. Shh, I'm so popular.
Lar.
Lar. That's enjoyable.
Well played. Four
Lar.
things we've all seen. So, if you haven't seen it, it's the Colin
Farrell.
Farrell, who I always get his name wrong.
Not Colin
Rachel
Firth.
McAdams looking like she's got a great part. I feel like we're not just playing the girl in this one. And
Right.
Taylor, help me out.
That I don't know.
Swift.
From Savages. He's kind of had an okay career, but
Stand by.
Schilling Taylor.
Listen.
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch and Vince Vaughn looking good.
I love me some Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, and if you've seen the trailers, they just look incredible.
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 Blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
got
blah.
that. All right, let's go to my actual list. So that was it. True Detective. So next week we will be talking about Orange is the New Black. Please be ready for your Orange is the New Black. I'll give you
Spoilers next week.
I will give you 3 episodes. You have to have 3 episodes ready. That's your homework.
Legit.
Okay, Veep season finale was on, and according to Uprocks, a non-scientific study reveals how mathematically funny Veep is because it contains more jokes per minute than any other show. It's easily one of the funniest shows on television right now, but have you ever thought about just how funny it is quantitatively? Over at Den of Geek, a comprehensive-ish study was conducted to see just how many jokes were contained in each episode of the season of Veep, and they came to a pretty interesting conclusion. Veep can squeeze more jokes into its official runtime per episode than any other show on TV. They might not all be roll on the fucking floor funny, but after establishing criteria for what qualifies as a joke, sight gags, reaction shots, insults, etc., it was revealed that at its highest, about 5 jokes were told per minute. For episode 9, Testimony, which included the Jonah Ryan glossary of abuse, we'll get there.
Hysterical, yes.
That's a joke every 12 seconds for the entire run of an episode. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about Veep for me. I was in...
Buckle up, bitches.
Well,
I'm in a Hyatt in Lansing, Michigan.
put your hat on. All right.
Picture it.
And they have every channel, every chrome-plated channel of crap
C1
coming into that room. And I stumble across Veep on the HBO channel.
So you saw it Sunday. You saw the season finale of season 3 without ever seeing an episode.
And I get into the last 15 minutes of some Senate hearing, right?
Oh, that's the testimony.
Yes, that's right.
None of it was funny.
Because you watched 15 minutes of an episode that's been building
That's
for
3 years in the making.
But if 5 jokes a minute are coming at you, shouldn't something
but
be funny?
again,
I have to watch all of it to go, like Jurassic
Yes.
Park. Apparently, I
We're
can
not-
just
we're
join
not-
in at World
No.
and get it.
We're not aiming down for you. We can't do it. We're not. And I'll say this about Hannibal this
I like
year.
that you're part of the team.
Hannibal this year, Veep, Arrested Development, we are not aiming
Not
down.
dumbing it down.
We're not dumbing it down for you. If you jump in at season 3 because all your friends are talking about Arrested Development, if you jump in at
That's
season
all
3,
you've done for the entire time you've been here about Veep.
Right, but you get there at season 1, episode 1, and you take the ride. You
Yeah.
can't jump in at any point. This isn't dumbed down television. This is not.
You don't get on
It's
California
not
Screaming
smart.
at the top of the
It's
list.
not for the masses. If you're
May I
going to jump
just-
in the middle and criticize it, fuck you. It wasn't made for you.
But may I just? Here was, so I have watched because.
Were you wearing that shirt?
Yeah. Were you wearing that shirt?
Apparently, you have to watch the entire show, or listen to the entire show to get that. Anyway, go
Right.
ahead. Continue on.
Anyway.
It's a good shirt, by the way. I
It
appreciate
is.
the math humor.
It's red.
I'm into it.
It's red.
Wow.
So this last one, the season finale, I sat there and I have watched all of it, and I was kind of like, I got it. It brought it to like a lot of
Silicon
things together.
Valley?
I just wasn't.
No, Silicon Valley's not funny.
No, Veep.
Oh, okay.
Silicon
I-
Valley's a little bit funny. You have to be
I
kind of
have
a...
No, it's kind
you
of
have to
funny,
be
but it's
kinda
not
nerdy to get
it's
it.
not
Like, it's
Veep
nerdy
funny.
humor.
Yeah, it just
Because that's
was-
high brain like political humor. This
Yeah.
is Silicon Valley is
Something about
fart jokes
a
and ram jokes. Like
She was negating her daughter dating somebody, and there were some
Yeah.
other things. I'm like,
Right, but if right, so I mean, this
So
joke's
that's
been
out
running
of
for
time.
8 episodes.
okay,
Right.
all right.
It's like Arrested Development. You can't jump into
never
season
saw
4
that.
and think you're going to find it funny because you'll be like,
Oh.
what? Like, you're not going to get why the fact that they can't remember who the kid is dating because she's so generic, and every time he says something like, her? And they're like, oh, I think Anne is hiding in the attic. From who? The Nazis? Like, you'll just never get there until you realize that it's the father living in the attic, and he's hiding because everyone thinks he helped Iraq, and he's doing the same thing as Saddam Hussein. And when they do the slogan for the show, for the houses, they're built like a rock. Like Chevy, like a rock, but it sounds like Iraq, which they've been in trouble for helping the Iraqis. It's, you know what I mean? Like, the joke's so involved, and they don't, if you got there at season 4, they don't want you. Like
Right.
Hannibal.
But
you can't jump into Hannibal right now. You're not going to get there.
I'm going to say that I have to agree. I
Tomo.
felt kind of let down personally watching that one, and it wasn't not overall, but when I've watched so many of the other episodes, I have laughed out loud where I'm like, oh my god, that was fucking smart. That was so funny. That was so it was brilliant. And this one brought all the jokes together, but it for me wasn't like the knee slapping kind of stuff that I was really enjoying.
I have said it
that
before
I've
on this
enjoyed.
show, and I could not specify which episode.
just me. That's
but
just my opinion.
I don't think that I am, and I'm a very funny person, and I get a lot of humor. I don't think I'm smart enough for this show. Even if I
No,
were to
but
go
you
for the
can't
back
say
line.
that when you jump-
no,
but
no,
you can't-
right.
yeah.
No, and I agree with that, but I'm saying I don't even think that if I go back to the very first, and watch everyone in sequence, I don't know that I'm smart enough for this show.
Oh, of
promise
course you are. If you watch CNN for 20 minutes, you get.
And it's not even just that; it's the quick. And
I enjoy quick. I am nothing but-
even if you don't understand what the fuck they're talking about,
just the
looks on their
insults,
face,
the insults they throw
oh.
at each other, or the fact that Gary just holds a bag.
Yeah.
And he's her whisperer, and he's like, Senator Doyle coming at you. I get large shapes. You know what I mean? Like, like when she starts screaming, like anything. But anyway, so they get to the testimony episode, which was all in jokes. So it was kind of dry. But then they get to the fact that Jonah has been Timothy Simons in a brilliant performance. For some reason, this guy has been grabbing his nuts in every episode for the entire season. And the senator that's Veep's friend, that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's friend, wants to make sure that they don't get in trouble in the testimony for what they really did. So she wants to bring it to the fact that Jonah has been groped, but Jonah doesn't want anyone to know that someone's been touching his testicles every single episode. So that's how they're going to get them off point. They're not going to reveal that they got this list of like dead children to find the grieving parents, to get the kid with AIDS, and how they got like this horrible story to go. So in the middle of it, when no one can figure out who Jonah is, they give you 22 nicknames for Jonah. And if you saw this part of the testimony,
You talked about this a week or two ago.
no, but here's how you get to the 4 jokes per second. So when it gets to Jonah, and everyone's like, who's Jonah? Because no one knows who he is. He's this doofus. He's the 6'4" doofus that walks around.
The names they've called him.
So no, but they say it during the test and sworn testimony.
I saw this.
To the long list of already spectacular names for Jonah, including Long Tall Sally, Jolly Green Jizz Face, Frankenstein's monster if the monster was made entirely of big dicks, Jonah, J-Rock, Jizzy Gillespie, Jack and the Giant Jackoff, Gay Leone, Tinkerballs, Wadzilla, One Erection, The Pointless Giant, Chimpanzee, The 60-Foot Virgin, Jono Ono, Hangrid's Nutsack, Scrotum's Pole, Transgender Former, 12 Years a Slave to Jerking Off, Benedict Cum
That was funny.
Benedict Cum in his own hand, Guy Scraper, and my favorite that I almost shit my pants,
Wait for it.
the Cloud Botherer. When they go through 9 million nicknames to end up at the Cloud Botherer, shitting my pants, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious cheese, Teenage Mutant Ninja A-hole assholes, Spewbacca, and
Spewbacca with that, yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
And for me, what was the funniest about that, if it didn't take it from it, there were great names, but the people that were reading, like,
that they're all serious in a Senate hearing. Yeah. And she says, the Cloud Botherer.
Yeah, where you're like, come on. That's where, to me, that was the funny, where you just have this dry,
it makes me sweat.
Monotone kind of thing. That I was amused by. But otherwise, just overall, that one
especially when they just go over, who's Jonah?
Yeah, who's that? So,
human scaffolding that doesn't work. Anyways, it's fantastic. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I can't help you.
Right.
How many seasons is this?
Just 3, and they're 10 episodes each. You watch, they're fast, and they go by fast. And if you don't find it funny, it's like Arrested Development. If you don't find it funny, you don't find it funny. Sure. It's fine. Just don't tell me 2 years from now that you watched every episode when you didn't.
Now, because I've admitted, I think last week I admitted, I've recently found, and I think is often very funny, is the animated series Bob's Burgers. There is so much rapid fire comedy coming at you with that, and I don't know where I've been and when it started, but it's like so many episodes are so funny to me.
I just found the Cleveland show because a patient of mine watched it when he was in a coma,
and I don't care for
which means that I watched it,
and I don't care for that one. I don't think that's funny at all. It's a spinoff of Family Guy, which I think is funny.
I don't know if I was watching the show you were watching or the show I said I was watching. I don't know the difference between the two.
One involves a shitty restaurant with 3 kids, and the other's black people.
I couldn't tell you.
Well,
I just came back to a shitty restaurant with 3 kids and black people.
Yeah.
Could be a taco truck at any bar.
You don't know.
So anyway, but now the very last the season finale of Veep, because what's his butt that did it, and he wrote In the Loop another one, and if you don't find him funny, you don't find him funny, then you probably didn't find In the Loop funny either. Very political guy. Iannucci and Nando Iannucci. I think I have that name. I think that's the movie that started this whole craze.
Oh, okay.
That
My bad. I don't remember that.
He had this semi-popular movie that got a lot of attention, and then all of a sudden he had Veep, and it's very, very unless you could also not find it funny.
Right.
It's legit. It could happen.
So that because he's leaving the show because he wants to go concentrate on his
That's
personal
right. Okay,
life,
I didn't realize who
and
that
I
was.
think they ended it on a what?
This just in: Golden State Warriors are the NBA champs.
Hey!
Oh, there you go. So
just
LeBron and Cleveland never going to do it together.
So Di is happy right now.
Yeah.
Your mom is happy.
Yeah,
But I
Mom-
do feel bad for
Mom's happy.
Cleveland. I do feel bad for
I do
Cleveland that
too.
Yeah.
he
I don't
came back
disagree.
to help them, and he's so close, and he's got
Almost.
a huge cock. Does anybody see that
Apparently.
picture?
How
Yep.
could he not?
That's entertainment.
What do you mean? How can he
was-
not? Not all the black guys.
tree.
No,
No, really.
But he
know.
was adjusting. Do you see that he was adjusting his shorts, and they cut it on camera, and he flashed it.
Look at my face.
It was Nipplegate. I'm just saying.
It was Headgate.
I don't care if you like the hole or the pole. That thing was working.
Lord have
That's from
mercy.
Strangers with Candy.
Don't care about candy, but I saw the video.
I saw the video. So, anyways, in
The
the loop.
hills were alive.
Nurse Jackie is coming to a very good end after a shaky kind of season. I don't know, 18 or whatever we're on. They came back for their season finale. They're going a little bit longer to end it properly, and it's just still not a comedy. The show's not that funny, except for Nurse Zoe, Jackie Weaver. I think her name is Jackie. No, Jackie Weaver, someone else. I don't know what her
Wait,
name
who are we
is.
talking about?
Nurse Jackie
Oh, okay.
is ending on Showtime, and it is just
Jackie.
really, really good.
Oh.
I'm so surprised at how good this last season has been. After they had a shaky penultimate episode, and Veep's season finale, I didn't finish that up. It came together in a very ironic way. They didn't go with laugh out loud funny.
Right.
They went with just all the craziness of our politics. And my favorite joke was, who the fuck decided the Electoral College should be an even number? And it was...
I laughed at that. That was
that
awesome.
was very
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But so Nurse Jackie's coming to an end. I told you about that. And now I'll just give you a couple movie reviews. Insidious 3, which came out a couple weeks ago, and I love Jason Blum. I talk about Jason
You've
Blum
talked
all the
about that.
time. Blumhouse Productions. He did Whiplash. He does all those movies for $5 that make lots of money. Insidious 3, good, scary fun, and I don't know why. In my
You were scared to death, weren't you?
No, this was
that
this was
Insidious?
that was one of them. Yeah,
Where you were like scared to death.
No, that was Sinister. Which there is
Okay.
a sequel to Sinister coming out later in the
Okay.
summer too. The Gift looks good. But anyways, so I saw Insidious 3, and again, it's not going to change your life. It's not going to be nominated for anything. Some legitimate fucking scares, and I scared the girl next to me, and she scared me back. Like the two of us, she was hitting her date, who may or may not have been a man. I have no idea what sex the person was next to her.
Sometimes
we
it's
had
hard to tell.
so much fun screaming, and the surround sound was working. So the Dolby surround sound in my theater was. Oh my God. And the person behind me was like, I'm not doing anything. All the noises were coming from like over your shoulder. They did the backup sound and the side sound so well that I was like,
Oh, different backup
I
sound.
was ready to hit the person behind me because I thought they were fucking with me the whole movie. And they're like, so finally the guy behind me was like, I'm doing the same thing. So good screams, just a lot of fun if you like that kind of horror movie. And then Jurassic World. It's for Jurassic. You're in good hands. All your Jurassic scares. I mean, the whole world has seen this now. It's the biggest opening for any movie. Biggest opening movie domestically and internationally ever.
Yeah.
It
I
made
believe
$500. It made $500 million in 3 days.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
On some of
They
the
had my money, too.
worst
Yeah,
directing I have ever seen. An imaginative 7-year-old could have directed that movie better. When they get off the truck, you get the army shot where the guy's got to stand there with the gun and go left, go right.
Sure.
Like every scene was just stock footage from every movie you've ever seen. But
But that's the way it felt like it was supposed to be.
I
I mean,
like,
for real. Like there were
Well,
some
yeah,
great.
they're
but Steven Spielberg, when he does popcorn movies, they're a little bit more imaginative. They're a little bit more. Every
I
single.
thought the references were great. I thought that, like, as far as bringing it together and fun.
I will not argue with the writing at all. I like that they went back to they found the original place. They put together things. The rolling things were fun.
Right.
Are we safe? I just thought the older brother was such a cliche of
Yeah,
like
that's true.
rolling his eyes, acting, and the younger kid with, oh my God, I'm so excited to be her.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, kids, let's
Drew loved it. I saw that on Facebook. He loved
I did.
it.
And
No,
I will
it was fun. Like that was the great thing about
it. It was a very fun movie. I just thought we could get a director who maybe has the imagination of higher than a 7-year-old, like with the first time with a camera.
By the
But I
time you
think
get to
that's
the
what
fourth,
people-
like by the time you get to Jurassic World, it's kind of just a reboot of we didn't learn the
No,
fucking
no
first time with
spoiler.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, that's not a spoiler.
No,
that's
no,
just
he just has it up there. So
yeah.
no. Yeah.
Like by the time you get to this one, by the time you got there in the book, even when you were reading Michael Crichton, you were like, okay, I get it. And why didn't we learn the first time? Because Lost World was a reboot of
and
Jurassic
Lost
Park,
World was written as a screenplay. Like Lost World was the laziest writing. Jurassic Park is brilliant. Lost World is some of the laziest writing ever.
They're going to debate more about this story and other movies coming up in just a few minutes. We've got Kat Carlson's segment coming up. We're going to shit all over it, plus thoughtful vulgarity. Stay with us, won't you? We'll be right back on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock here in the old Phoenix, Arizona. Hi there.
Christ on the cross, you don't know what
I
you're
don't know what-
talking about then, God.
It's The Show with Clayton McKee. That's me. Alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer. That's Al Perkins in the Seafoam Green Ensemble.
Possibly I'll accept Sea Mist.
Sea Mist. Ooh, that's exciting.
J'approve.
J'approve.
What we just left last hour, crossing into this hour, is a debate or a rumble or whatever you want to call it over Jurassic World. And
Really neither. I mean, I would give it a really solid B+. I just thought the other efforts were like, all three efforts were better. I think the first book is better than the first movie. Jurassic Park was a really good movie,
book.
but one of the best books I've ever read. I think I read it in like 25 minutes.
I'm a big Michael Crichton nerd, though. Like
me
everything
too.
that he's written,
Hands down.
like
Except for The Lost World.
Well,
he
sure.
wrote a screenplay. He just wrote the screenplay.
Right.
He dummied
and that's
that down.
fine. And Marnie said, she says, well, maybe they left it open for another one. Like that's the whole point. Like you've
definitely.
opened this like genetic can of worms that got away from you. Like it's always open for more.
If you did not see the actual part where they said, "Here's where the sequel starts," because they practically it was kind of like the worst of Steven Spielberg watered down by a person with the imagination of a 7-year-old. There is a part where they actually took a mallet and hit me over the head with someone that said, "Here's where we get the sequel."
Right. This is what's coming in the next
where
movie.
did that character go? He's probably going to be in the sequel. Although I love that they brought back B.D. Wong. That was a nice little.
That was great.
That was a nice little flashback. The writing was good. I thought the writing was pretty solid. I just thought the directing was done by a 7-year-old with no imagination. When that guy got out of the truck in the military outfit and did that's Alien, that's Aliens, that's every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, that's every war movie where somebody gets out of the truck and has to look left, look right.
Yeah.
And
I'm not
they're
mad
all
about
gonna die in there. Well, of course they're all gonna die in there, you dumbass. We've all seen a movie. I felt like I've seen a movie before, and I knew almost everything that was coming, and then they filled in surprises eventually.
Well, and I didn't show up to be wowed. I showed up to have a good time. Like I know the story.
Right.
I know how this ends.
But I was wowed by the first three. Like I was wowed by the Lost World, the scene where she's hanging on the glass and the glass is cracking, and you have that whole scene going over the cliff. That was brilliantly directed, and I was on the edge of my seat for that entire movie. The plane crash in number 3 and the rolling of the thing over and over and over again was good. Like Jurassic Park, the original movie, was a roller coaster. I never sat back and took a breath. This movie, I kept being like, okay, yes, I saw this movie in 1981. I mean, they weren't even remaking good movies anymore.
But see, as far as
I felt like it was an Independence Day. You know, where in Independence Day, all they do is do lines from other movies.
Right, absolutely, and I can see that. I think for having not as a differently abled moviegoer, that you go to movies all the time, and you and Buddy, for instance, are you critique them,
right? But I also can sit in something in a roller like The Fugitive. It's brilliant.
Just for a moment, just the idea that when I was sitting in there, not like, I have to go see Jurassic World. I went for a purpose, to go along with the family and hang out. I left having just utterly enjoyed.
Having had a good time, yeah.
Having had a great time. And it was simple. Yes. It was, I didn't have to think a whole lot. I didn't have to wonder what was kind of coming next. But at the same time, it was just the scenery. I thought that this
No, and my problem was not with the writing. My
no,
problem,
I know.
I mean,
I'm just saying it was just.
We'll get into what's his butt's eyeliner a little later.
Yes.
Chris Platts.
Yeah, that was
he was
a lot.
almost dressed as Alice Cooper for parts of the movie, and why did her hair keep getting curlier and curlier?
Right.
Humidity.
Yeah.
It was just, but it was
But
it was
first time on the island, dear.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with humidity there.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a pretty good.
But it was so startling. It was such a startling,
Pruitt.
and he does
Pruitt?
it too.
I was
Matt Pruitt.
I was super
Matt
unimpressed
Pruitt,
with her overall.
Oh
Like,
no!
I was
again.
They could have written like
Tomo.
her part. They could have written like an ice queen that melts in a really nice way that like you
Yeah.
feel it. I had no patience for the end. I was like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, none.
But and
I don't know if that was
my
acting or
thing is
directing or where that comes
I
from, but
went and
no.
saw Terminator 2, and I was fascinated and
Yeah.
completely enthralled by the entire movie. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. I buy in. If you do it, I buy in. Honest to fucking God. Like, I'm not that picky about movies. I can turn off my brain and just watch. But if you just keep doing cliche after cliche after cliche, like Twister. I'll watch Twister any day you want me to.
Okay.
Everything about that movie is delightful. I can turn off my brain and watch that cow fly by and watch Jamie
Gloria,
Gertz.
I gotta go. We
got
got
a cow.
cows.
I'm just saying,
cow.
like, I honestly can turn off my brain at any point. But when you keep telling me there's a sequel coming, it takes me out of the movie, and I hate being taken out of the movie. Like, I want to stay in it. Like Insidious 2, 3, 7. I don't know what number we were on. I never once was like, oh, come on.
Sure.
Like, I never once was like, well, there you go again. I was like, whoa, that's startling. I was scared. Like, you know what I mean?
Goodness.
You put a jump where I needed to jump. You put a
Yeah.
thump where I needed to thump. The old lady said what I knew she was going to say. Stick to the rules. You
Sure.
stick to the girl you came in with it.
Sure.
So I was just disappointed that this is the biggest movie of all fucking time. But if they fuck up the new Terminator movie, because I like Terminator 3 again.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, one of the best movies I've ever seen. That
Oh.
tick 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 tick. That
was
soundtrack
really good.
just is relentless. Aliens, Terminator 3, loved it. Tear down the whole town with something, whatever that fucking thing is on the side of the truck. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. No complaints whatsoever about Terminator 3. They fuck up this new Terminator.
Are they going to bring back Drug Addict? Forgive me. I
No,
don't think of his name.
he's been gone a long time. He hasn't been back in a movie in
No,
a while.
I know. I wonder if they're going as far as
I'm just assuming which drug addict. Terminator 2 drug addict?
the what's his face?
Furlong?
Furlong.
Oh, no,
Yes.
he's been gone for a long time.
Okay.
He hasn't come back for a sequel. They've made 7 of them. They didn't come back.
Okay. I
That's what I'm
wasn't
saying.
sure.
Like, I'm not trying to be snobby. Like, I like me some part 7 of a lot of different shit.
Right.
But this, I just kept being taken out of the movie, and that kept disappointing me.
fair.
But I loved the fishy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that. I loved T-Rex coming back. Like, there was parts of it I really enjoyed. But why does her hair keep getting curlier? And how did that?
Humidity.
How did the Barbie outfit keep changing? And when did she change her shoes? You know what I mean?
She never did.
She never did.
No,
change
she
it.
never did.
I know, and I did catch
Wait,
that.
that's-
I was gonna bitch about
Uh-huh.
the shoes, but then I'm like, no, she's making them work.
Yeah.
Bitch got it
She
done.
ran in those
Yeah.
motherfucking heels.
She ran in
Yeah.
heels.
Look.
That was like, come the fuck off.
I've been seeing the Queens bitch about that on Facebook for days now.
No,
No,
have you?
I feel like that's a positive.
No. All right.
Like she never changed those shoes, and she ran in those motherfucking heels.
And then my last teeny tiny complaint, and it's really just me being an asshole.
All right.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Right.
Al's an asshole.
Al's an asshole.
Right. How's an asshole?
Alien 3 I didn't love, but Alien 4 I did. I love me some Alien movies. And Alien 6, whatever that last one was with Charlize Theron, who can do no wrong, I love that one too.
I love her.
I love
She's
that
in
one.
Mad
You're
Max.
exactly right. Ananta's exactly right with the Indian actor in Jurassic World. That's right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite, most beautiful movies.
There you have it. It's his favorite.
Oscar-winning director for the movie The Life of Pi. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I won the Oscar pool that year because I picked Ang Lee for Life of Pi way before anybody else did.
Yes, you
One
did.
of my absolute
You can go back and listen to that.
favorite musicians does the score. Michael Giacchino
Okay.
does the score for Jurassic Park, and I was not wowed.
Okay.
And I because I was like, well, and his name came up, and I wasn't disappointed because I didn't really care about the score. Like sometimes I listen to a score and I'm like, wow, who did that? And I'll say listen to it. His name came up, and I'm like, Oh, really? Like you made something mediocre too? I just kept being disappointed. But when it comes on cable, I'll probably watch it again.
Right.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I love me
Just
some
why wouldn't you?
dinosaurs.
It's fun.
I love me some dinosaurs. They're not sharks, but they're close.
Yes. Yes.
But by the way, when is next Shark Week?
Shark Week is early this year to accommodate my travel schedule, so it's like the first week of July.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll need
Yeah.
to know because I want to make a special theme for Shark Week, the show, our show.
Yeah. And,
When is it? I'm sorry.
I think it's the first week of July, or it's in the first.
Well, then it's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up, and I'm hoping that they took all of the criticisms from everyone besides me from last year to stop with the mockumentaries and do
Sunday, July 5th.
Sunday, July 5th, and please do a real Shark Week again. Like, stop making fake documentaries about sharks.
Otherwise known as
Just
with
do,
Megalodon.
yeah, just do PBS style Life of
Shark
Sharks.
Week,
We're
right.
gonna follow them around. We're gonna see them jump. We're gonna see them hunt. We're gonna see them kill.
Eat fuckers.
And I'm serious.
Oh.
The year that they had me every year, but the year that they bit the guy standing in the shallow water saying that sharks weren't dangerous, and it literally with 7 cameras on him, chomped on his leg. Best popcorn moment of my
That's
life.
good TV right there. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jenny, we will not even talk about how much I love
Were
Jaws.
you able to go to that? I didn't catch if you were able to go see it in the theater. When
Oh, it's June 21st. It's
I
coming
thought
up.
it
It's a
was-
week. It's a week from yesterday. Jaws in the theaters. If you have never seen Jaws in the theaters, it's Michael Giacchino. Brilliant. He did Up. He did the music for Up. He
Okay.
did the score for Lost. All that beautiful music for Lost. But he won his Oscar for Up. And the music from Up in the opening scene. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
As she's dying, all that beautiful score is
Yeah.
all Michael Giacchino, and he is just beautiful.
Nice. I had a. May I? Josh?
Yeah, please.
Let's-
I'm done. That's
very,
it.
Please do.
I was laughing.
But Jaws
with,
next Monday.
This is more some personal anecdote from when I was Mom and I came over to your house for Thanksgiving, and we were there and with Doug and Mark Martinez and everybody, and we were talking. Jason was there, and we were talking about hash browns. And hashtags, and we couldn't figure out hashtags to save our life. And my mom goes, "What is it? What is this hash browns? What is happening?" And we all burst out laughing. She's like, "Hash brown this, hash brown that." The life
was
of,
such a funny conversation.
The Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh,
When she came out of nowhere and she's like, "Hash brown." I thought that was fantastic and just a cute memory that was very fun. And I started watching Grace and Frankie. Because I wanted to watch.
did you get
it
to the
with
earthquake
Mom.
yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I
You
wanted-
would know.
I was like,
Yeah,
no.
you'll know
'cause
when
I
you
was
get to
just
the
trying
earthquake.
But I wanted to watch it with Mom, so she's enjoying the hell out
Okay,
of it too.
sure.
God, I mean, just enjoying the hell out of it. So that was another thing because I now have in my house, in my room, I have Hulu Plus.
Hey.
Well, I have all of it. I have like a Sony Blu-ray that has Netflix and Hulu
And you
Plus
signed
all
up for
that.
all the things?
Yeah, I have everything.
Once
And
you
then
finish that glass of
Apple,
Kool-Aid, my work here is done.
I have Apple TV. I have
work.
the Apple TV out in my.
Oh my God, I've done
in
such
my
good
living
work.
room. So excited! It's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
I had Apple TV before you did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but she's using it for good. Spoiler alert.
And you didn't bring this up.
Fucker.
It was something that I just saw about Halloween coming. They're doing another. Speaking
Halloween
of-
Returns.
Right.
They make it-
They're
really?
making another, but it's the people from Saw. Have they been doing the others? Or
It depends.
No?
Now the first Saw movie is Jason Blum, my boyfriend, future
Right,
boyfriend.
you've
We're
talked
very
about
much
that,
in love.
right.
Which changed me for life.
Yeah,
The first
because
Saw-
because the first Saw is not all that graphic. It's very tense and it cuts
sick and
before it gets
suspenseful
Yeah,
and- yeah.
It doesn't get to torture porn.
Is it actually about a
Okay.
saw?
There's a saw
There's
involved.
a saw involved
Sure.
in a very
And I was like,
horrible saw.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
And so, for those of you who I maybe have not made this pronouncement in a while, my favorite movie genre is horror. By far and away, even though I love my Oscar movies, and there's only been like 2 horror movies ever nominated for Oscars, I absolutely love horror.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen Jaws, as much as I bash Steven Spielberg and John Williams,
Right.
that is one of the best scores and probably one of the greatest movies ever made is Jaws. If you've only seen it on TV though, and you've never seen it letterboxed, you have no idea the beauty of this movie and the film. It is some of the best cinematography ever captured. It's one of the most beautiful movies ever made. There is acting beyond compare in this movie. Like, it's one of those movies that people think of as like a summer scare fest, and it's a very, very, very well made movie. So you have a chance to see it next Monday in the theaters. Go see it and see what summer was all about when, like,
Just Monday. Yeah,
it's a one day only. But if you get a DVD, just don't watch it on TV where they don't letterbox it. If you don't have black bars on the top and the bottom, just stop.
Are you going next Monday?
I'm hoping to. I'm going to look up times and see what it is because I'm off.
Let's look up times, figure it out, because
Yeah.
I could probably tie Mom into this and just for the fun of it.
And I think it's mostly improv, if I'm not mistaken. But Robert Shaw, his scene about the USS Indianapolis and the shark attack is one of the most devastating monologues ever given in a film, and I think it's mostly improvised, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he was just given a general like impression. Trust me, I've seen so many fucking movies. I like all things, but when Mama's in the mood, Mama wants horror.
Well, and this says the Saw writers pen recalibration.
Oh, okay, then that's very good. Saw writers. Anybody involved with Saw 1? It's just
Okay.
it's Saw 9 through 20.
Okay. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. So
It is because the first Halloween, we've talked about that ad nauseum. Go ahead, shit on this.
the Melton and Marcus Dunstan, it says.
I know.
Yeah.
I only know Jason Blum by name because we're gonna get married.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, there's
Have we wrapped up your segment now?
Long ago.
Oh, my God. We're ready to go into Kat Carlson's segment. It's called Shit on This, and it goes something like this.
Good Lord, all the things to shit on. What do I've got? I've got porn and lasagna. I've got Supreme Court okays gay marriage. I've got World Cup issues. I've got Mercury and snacks. I've got a transracial controversy. If we even have time, I can talk
start
about
with that one.
I can talk about ridiculous. Well, no, of course we're going to start with that one. But as the list goes, we may not get to everything, even the last headline on my list. So there it is.
Hit the post. I love you for that.
All right, so we will start there. Let's start at the transracial individual that we've all been hearing about.
Huesexual I like, but that's just me.
One of these things doesn't belong
Wait, what was your
here.
term?
Huesexual.
Hugh.
Hugh.
Oh,
No,
like HUE?
Yeah, but it's not sexual.
That's
It's
very
not
cute, yeah.
It's not sexual, but I just like the huesexual because I was like, where do we fit an H and
An H, an LGBTH,
She
LMNOP,
could
H.
have hudentity dysphoria.
There you go.
Hudentity!
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert,
alert.
Kat was the winner. Kat won this episode.
Well done.
Debbie was fired, but Kat won.
Linguistics are my jam.
Well, jam away, bitch.
Jam away. Well, you know what? I'm sure everybody
it
at the
out.
table is probably a little bit more educated. I've seen all the headlines and have just been reading today. But to recap, the chapter leader in Los Angeles of the NAACP.
Actually, Seattle.
Was it Seattle?
Yeah.
She's in
Yep.
Seattle.
You're right, Seattle. See? Look how good I'm doing.
Yep.
My favorite thing of the whole goddamn day is that she broke her silence.
Yeah.
She wasn't holding out.
Right.
No.
Well, and she was outed by family who were like, no, she just is
She's
white.
crazy and
She's
white.
crazier than shit,
Yes.
and she's white.
Crazy
She's
and white, but was the
white.
chapter leader of
So
the
are her other
NAACP.
5 siblings. They're all white. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And now people are all up in arms, and she says that she identifies as a black person. Like this is the part that gets kind of like fuzzy and hazy.
It gets a little murky.
It gets yeah, it's a little murky here.
No.
She says from the age of 5, I was drawing self-portraits with brown crayons instead of peach crayons and black curly hair. Yeah, she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, a little more tan.
She might be in a Beyonce video.
Looks like this bitch about 8 years ago when he was working at a tanning salon. Is what she looks like.
Yeah.
Remember, you can't kill evil, but you can tan it.
And so now everybody has like an opinion on whether or not we should respect her identity or whether we should call her out as a fraud because she's masquerading as
Or
a
is she
black woman.
blackface? Or
Right.
is, like,
Is it offensive to black people?
Is she doing Al Jolson songs? That's the question I have.
My issue, first of all, I looked and I was like, okay, just requirements for membership of the NAACP is $30.
it's not colored.
It's not be black.
You don't.
Right.
You don't.
Oh,
No, no.
okay. That's interesting.
For membership, the requirement for membership, I could sign up to be a part
Oh.
of and a member of the
I think
NAACP.
we should all. I think we
Because
should
you're
all sign
just
up.
about the advancement of colored people.
Right, and it's like
and they're still called colored people, just like the one for the that Barbara Streisand used to endorse for the word she don't like.
Sure, and it's like being a member of the HRC. I could be. I think I don't know if I renewed this year, but as a member of the HRC, I've donated my $25 and I got my messenger bag or whatever, which is right. I didn't get a messenger bag, so I didn't re-up.
Bring it up at the meeting. Find a meeting and go
I got,
to
I
it.
got the toaster oven because I brought 2 people with me.
I didn't pay the $25, so I didn't get my messenger bag. But I looked like that was the very first thing that I thought about, and I was like, what is the requirement to be a member? Okay, so clearly she's not changing herself to get into an exclusive club. NAACP is like a lot of other advocacy groups, and they want your allyship. Whoever you are, if you're for the cause, you're for the cause. We want you.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
We want you as a
Yeah.
new recruit.
Nicely done. Exactly. Like HRC doesn't care if you're gay, straight, trans, whatever, as long as you're contributing
And their
and part of
leader-
the cause.
and their
But
leader-
how many gay people would go fucking apeshit if a straight person were the
President of the HRC?
Of HRC?
Nobody.
Not the president
no,
of HRC,
hold on.
but the
Or
president of GLAAD.
GLAAD, sure, something like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Like with NAACP, it's like
And we don't know
Alright.
if the NAACP, and what city was she in?
Seattle.
Seattle.
If they would have accepted a lily white woman,
sure.
regardless of her past and her very, very twisted road to where she ended
Well-
up. She went to Howard University for a master's degree in art studies based on a portfolio. And she has...
And sued them because
they discriminated against her because she was white.
Yeah, like what? Pick it.
But she was the advocate for the Tacoma police. Was it the Tacoma police? She was the ride-along cop to work with the I can't remember if it was Seattle or Tacoma's police force to work with the black community, and she did a lot of good with them. Like she's done a lot of good with the community,
Right.
while doing really strange things. And it's one of those and that's I find this story so interesting.
It's so fascinating.
Because
right.
you can have two. Yeah, she's a professor in Black Studies at
Well, she
Northwestern
has lost her
University,
job, yeah.
Northeastern University. She didn't lose her job. She resigned.
She
Oh, did
resigned.
she?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she resigned.
Oh, this one may be outdated.
she-
It says she lost her job.
Oh, she may have, but she went to Howard University. Yes, and it is a black school. I think it's Northeastern
Where's my other
University
link?
that she was the professor of African studies. But then she said stuff like she lived in South Africa and she was like beaten with
I would say there was some straight up lies in the middle there too.
Didn't she
some
as
kind
a
of monkey thing.
But didn't she as a white woman sue Harvard for
Howard.
Howard? She sued Howard.
Yeah.
Like, as,
Which is-
but
which
as
is
a
a
white
black
woman,
college.
she
Yeah.
They discriminated
Because-
against her for
Right.
being
because they
white.
didn't know, because her portfolio of art was all African American based, because she has 4 adopted African American brothers. Like her parents had her and then adopted 4 African American children. She married a black man and has an African American, like she has a black son, and then she adopted someone as her own son. So she has a black ex-husband, 4 black brothers, 2 black children. Like, so like
she's Donna Summer.
right. So there's all these different things of like crazy and then doing
great.
good.
Yeah.
But the crazy is so
Outweighs.
crazy.
It's so out
it doesn't
there.
really outweigh because what
No,
she
but I mean the lies
what she did
are
was
just
good.
like
Yeah. They're unjustifiable, but at the same
Right.
time what she did with her lies was
Sure.
kind of good for the community, but it was disrespectful to people that these things really happened to.
Right.
The thing about being whipped by, and it's a monkey name that sounds so awful, but I can't remember what she said she was whipped with.
Bonzo.
No, it was like, yeah, but I mean, it's
bedtime.
Bedtime for Bonzo.
Bedtime for Bonzo. Baboon whip. There it is.
Oh.
Okay.
And she hunted for food by bow and arrow. Thank you, Jenny.
14 amazing lies told by Rachel.
Yeah,
what's her name? Hang
like
on.
the lies are insane when the NAACP would have accepted her, and so would her children. Like one
Yeah.
of her kids said she was,
She claimed an African American man was her father, who's clearly not.
but
Who
he's a
just
father
wasn't.
figure.
A father figure, okay, but said this man is my father.
But that's like if I
But
was
he's not.
But if I was adopted, like if her brothers are going
Okay.
to say this man is my father and he's white, so that part I can't get on board with.
Okay.
When she says that someone is her father figure, I'm going to go with that. You can't go with biology. If you identify someone
I'm
as
gonna
your
tell
dad,
her I'll be her father figure.
no, but
Put her tiny
we've
hand
talked
in
about
mine.
this. If you identify
Punta,
someone as
I am
your
your
father,
father.
that's
Right.
your father.
Okay, I'll allow it. Sure. I'm just reading off
Right.
the list here.
So I that's the only one of her lies that I'm
That
gonna
you're kind
give
of on
her.
board
Yeah,
with.
I'm gonna
Okay.
give her that one.
I'm in.
The rest,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
She
be on
claims
her
she was
team.
born in a teepee in Montana in 1977.
Gotta go.
Claims that Jesus Christ is
Superstar.
written as the witness on her birth certificate because her parents lived in the middle of nowhere and lived off the land.
Yep, can't go with that
She
one
claims
either.
she grew up hunting with a bow and arrow.
Yep, bullshit again.
Claims that she has
She wore a
no
hat
contact
with a
with her
raccoon
mother
tail.
and stepfather, which parenthetically does not have a stepfather, because of a deeply traumatic and painful past.
But she considers this other man her father. So I'll give her stepfather if you don't have another word for it. Again, we're just going to allow that one for personal experience.
Claims her parents beat her and her brothers and sisters based on their skin color.
And I don't think that's true because her brothers are not backing her up on that one.
But I think one of her brothers has a little touch of the Downs. He's a little special one.
But
probably
again,
not the Downs though, because that's an either you got or you don't. That's,
well, he's got a little something.
There.
I think
that's
he's
not a spectrum.
I think. Well, I saw him in an interview last night on the CNN, and I thought he was a little special.
I don't know how many chromosomes.
He may be, but is he Roger?
No, he's not Roger.
So therefore,
there's
not.
He's just
There's
maybe
no
some
touch-up
oxygen
on that one.
deprivation was
Special.
going on,
Dropped
like
a couple of times.
like Britney Spears.
Right. She claims her mother beat her and her siblings with a baboon whip, a whip that was used to beat slaves in the past.
I didn't know that was from her mother. I thought she was saying that happened because she was a woman somewhere in South Africa.
And claims that the whippings left
too.
scars. Claims to have been slipped a Mickey by a... That's a really fun euphemism.
Slipper with a Mickey pin.
She claims to have been slipped a Mickey by a former mentor of hers while they were celebrating the sale of one of her paintings.
Her and Simpson have that Mickey slipping thing, and Cosby potentially.
Cosby did like some hot black chicks.
No.
Some hot white
too
chicks.
soon?
They may not have liked him, but
No, because he went after Beverly Johnson.
There's
So
always
So it
room for
says she claims that her
Jell-O.
ex-husband used to beat her and then throw their son across the room when he tried to stop them.
and if all of that is true, that's fucking horrible. But don't make it up if.
and she did divorce him, so we don't know what.
Right, yeah, like
There's some
please,
of this.
please, please don't make that, like, if that's
Yeah,
true
don't
and
make it
has
up,
fucked you
just
up,
don't.
like,
That's neither here nor there. And
Right.
the fact that she didn't start doing all this till 2010 is another like she
Weird,
says
yeah.
she was drawing herself with a brown crayon, and we're supposed to accept like hue questioning or whatever we're going with.
But even in the interview that she did with Matt Lauer this morning on Today, she actually contradicted herself because he asked her the question, when did you start identifying? And she tells the story about the crayons, yada, yada, at 5. But he shows the picture of her, which he initially says was you in your early 20s. And she's like, no, that's me at 16. And he says, well, did you identify as a black woman at 16? And she says no. And immediately after that, she says, I was drawing pictures of myself and identifying at 5 years old. So her story contradicts itself.
And that's one of those things where like I want to follow
And I just think
along,
it's a bad perm.
but the math keeps taking me out of the interview. Like I want to follow you down your dark path.
I think
I
it was a
want to
good-
be a good audience.
I want to buy into this and the
I
whole story.
appreciate
But
it.
The hair is very pink lilt curlers to me. That's I think.
But everybody's like,
Right.
oh, she's blackfacing. No, she might just tan. Like
Sure.
Like my sisters are lily white and they sit out in the sun and they actually, unlike me, they actually tan a little bit. I mostly turn red and then go back to lily white again. But
Right, after you
they
peel, it
actually
goes back to...
sun up and tan. And if you put a funky hairdo on them,
Sure, you could. Absolutely.
you know. And then the woman who was arguing against her today, and I can't remember what her book is called. I think it's called Passing for Black or something like that. That was on CNN today, and I'm like, oh, sweetheart, you're the same color.
Right.
Whatever she did, she achieved because there's so many shades of all of our
Right.
skin
Right.
that she had achieved that without anything really specific. Like she certainly wasn't wearing like orangey self
like
tanner.
self-tanner
Yeah, she
or
wasn't
whatever,
wearing
right,
self tanner.
right.
It was very, and it wasn't makeup like it, but. And I'm like, with the right blondish, wiggish Mary J. Blige in the right era, you're kind of getting to the same. Yeah.
What do you guys think about the fact that they're comparing her
To
with
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. What do
Well,
you think about that?
now, don't we have to say that about everybody? I mean, that was the argument 2 weeks ago where
Sure.
somebody said, and I may have argued it out loud or just screamed at you all because I was drunk and had just woken up.
Good morning.
Both are possible. That there was
Both happened.
what I thought was a very insensitive black woman saying, "What if I wake up tomorrow and say I identify as white?" And we were all, and I was like, well, that's a little bit different. But now we're having to say that same thing. Like if she says she identifies as black, how can we argue when somebody can? What can't you just change your identity
Yeah, where
to?
do you draw the line? Where do you draw
Like,
the line?
why, where can't you say
and I'm not arguing for that,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what a lot of people are saying. I feel like a princess, therefore I am a princess, and that's how I identify. That
And-
was not me saying
Right.
that. That was something
Sure.
that was written.
And to back
And
it
I
up
was like,
only
oh.
slightly from the absurd, and
Right, and that's why
But
I was
but
like-
I bring this up all the time. Like I grew up in an Italian, Polish, German neighborhood, and I very much, and I just spent a weekend with, and it like what I think is the quintessential Niagara Falls Italian family. I just went to a wedding and spent time with them. Like I didn't identify with that Italian family, but the Italian family that I do identify as like my extended family. To me, I'm Italian because I like.
Correct.
Like I liked their.
Yeah.
I didn't go to their church, but the things that they did church related, I found more enjoyable than ours because we didn't drink. You know what I mean? But I like their food. I like their culture. I went to the Italian festival.
I think the difference is in the details. I think the difference.
Right,
is
I didn't join the Italian AACP.
Well, not even that. I think the difference in this woman's case, she seems to be like not all of her stories seem to be adding up. So I don't know if there's like abuse and mental illness happening. I don't know if there's just I don't know if it's just straight up mental illness happening. But the difference is in the details. Like I thought of like Eminem. I think is a really good example, believe it or not, of someone who grew up in a very like predominantly black area and kind of identifies with his surrounding.
And isn't the rap culture a part of this conversation?
Sure,
because those people like
so
Macklemore and all them, or Ryan, or whatever one it is.
So yeah, you can go to the rap community and say, okay, all these white rappers are not necessarily masquerading as black men, but they, grew up,
adopted the culture,
in this neighborhood, in this scenario.
Right.
So you could be, the adopted German-Irish boy in the Italian household and be, part of the Italian household. You didn't make up a fantastic story about how you were kidnapped by the mob and kept in a basement and then, made to believe that you were an Italian.
But on the other hand, if you have
people.
African American brothers and you married an African American man and you have an African American child, aren't you living?
Be part of the black community, right?
And that's what I honestly don't. Like, I'm so conflicted with this story. I just don't know which way to turn because sometimes I'm on her side and sometimes like, bitch, you crazy. Like, I just don't know where to go.
I think the devil's in the details. I think the fact that her things are not quite lining up very well.
But she did good things with it. She worked the NAACP. She worked with women who suffered from abuse. She did ride-alongs with the cops.
And to many people, it just feels like a big fucking lie and a big story and a big...
But if the end result, it was all for good. Like... Except for whatever happened at Howard University and whatever she took advantage of or sued for. Other than that, if the last 5 years you've been working for the betterment of the community you're pretending to be part of, then don't we owe you a little bit of a pass? Like,
and at the end of the day,
and I'm not disagreeing. I
don't even know which side I'm on.
I don't either. No, I don't either.
I think a good place.
I'm kind of like, what?
A good place to start might be who is being hurt by her story. Like, is anyone being hurt by it?
Now
is a community
well,
being
the only thing that I've heard in regards to it was somebody being hurt was that she denied an actual black woman or man from being a representative in the community of their own culture, if you will, whatever.
So she took someone's place.
That's what they were saying. But I agree. I'm with Al. I'm like,
if her brothers, her husband, and her kid are, isn't she in that community?
And
she's fighting for the same cause that another, a black. I don't want to say legitimately black, but I'm going to say a darker skinned, born into a black parents, non-adopted. I mean, she's fighting for the same cause.
Yeah, and
it's all fucked up all the way around.
So if a gay couple adopts a straight child, and the straight child says they identify as gay and they fight for gay rights, and maybe they even pretend to be gay to get on the GLAAD committee because they're interested, like. We're in just such a weird gray area of like, what are you allowed to pretend to be? And Tomo, if you catch me around like Christmas time, I go full on Italian on you, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if you tell me it's time for Christmas, I'm like, where's the fucking lasagna?
Right.
Or if you catch me with my family from out here that I took on. Sometimes I feel a little Mexican, and we're not going to get there without some green chili and tamales, right?
So does Clayton.
Right. Well,
sure.
In regard to this entire thing,
yeah, exactly.
This entire story makes me refer to Donna Summer's Grand Illusion.
Richard, are you still there?
Very good.
It's true.
Like it.
You have a few more stories, I think, to get to.
I should hope so.
In a short amount of time.
At some point, I'm not going to get to all of them, so we're gonna touch the important ones.
Well, let's see what we can get to.
With very little fanfare, and I'm quite certain no one heard of it at all, but the Mexican Supreme Court has legalized same-sex marriage.
The person I follow on Facebook posted about this earlier today.
Yeah, I have that story as well.
Someone you may stalk made a bad hair choice, I think. Am I right?
Oh, no. I'm well aware of who that is, but no. Different person. Okay.
I'm sitting right here. I'm just growing back.
The person.
Caller, are you there?
Right. Could you scratch off hair?
No. This person made the comment about the Mexican legal.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm all on board.
Mr. Medina.
Yeah.
As it turns out, Mexico's having a very similar problem to the United States, in which the states
They're
are
having a Mexican immigration issue.
Yeah, because only the bad
The
Americans
bad,
are going that way.
Right, exactly.
that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Continue on.
No, in that the state laws are restricting gay marriage left and right, and so the presiding Supreme Court is finally said
That's
that
enough.
no, state laws restricting marriage to heterosexuals are discriminatory, even though the decisions have been made with, again, little public fanfare. Like, this didn't make Fox News. I doubt it made CNN. It didn't make any news here and made very little news in Mexico. But
I think tomorrow we'll make more. Today it was.
Maybe.
I think they're going to be on that news cycle where they're just
On
tomorrow.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today and tomorrow and tomorrow and
cutting,
today.
cutting edge right here.
Well,
Right here.
There's
But we always do that.
Yeah.
We
You
do that
always
a
do
lot.
that.
I do that a lot. Yeah, I see it. I see the stories that we have talked about like later on in the
Yeah,
week on other
absolutely.
stuff.
Oh.
And
no.
I think how did
Wednesday
that
on the
come
View
around?
is Tuesday on the show with Clayton.
Yeah.
Right,
McKee.
exactly.
Really, sometimes.
Exactly.
They are a day behind us. Like,
I think they're listening.
It always
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Well, yes. I think
I'm actually on his
They're
Facebook
actually
right now.
Nicole Wallace might make me vote Republican. There's a danger.
No, there's not.
Look at
God damn it.
I love Nicole Wallace.
Oh my God.
No,
No,
she's
you're-
reasonable.
she
should marry me.
So reasonable. But Carly Fiorino, out. All
Yeah,
the wrong
I haven't
answers.
been watching.
All the wrong
I
answers.
come and go with Rosie.
She was on today. Go ahead. My apologies.
No, you know what? I don't have a whole lot else to say about it other than the fact that it's done in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, the Supreme Court has said that all of these laws that are restricting marriage are discriminatory. You cannot say that this is only for
And now
people
we have,
based on
we have,
gender,
we
like,
have
you
to
just
sign
can't.
a pact. We
Right.
all have to say together because it's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
The ruling is expected the last day of the Supreme Court, the 29th or 30th.
A Thursday is what I read.
Oh, I
Are they
heard
expecting it on Thursday?
I thought it was a Tuesday.
No,
but-
Monday or Tuesday. It should be
Yeah.
the 29th or 30th of
The
June.
web is full of lies.
Yeah.
No.
But Google is. I'm 99% sure it'll be a Monday or Tuesday because the court.
They usually do. They usually put
They
their shit out on
finishes-
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, and it finishes the last day of June. I think they go on recess
Oh.
until.
And
the
they're going to wait until the end so they can just mic drop and walk away.
Oh,
Wow. Good
Yeah.
point.
But I'm pissed off
Because they did that before. They did that
it-
last year.
They did it with marriage equality. They did it with Obamacare.
Yep.
And they have to bump Obamacare and answer questions. So I just want to because
It is a domino
the
Molly.
trans community opposed Silence of the Lambs because that there was something in the movie that left it vague that's not left in the book that Buffalo Bill was transgendered. And that was his
Right.
psychosis.
I'd never heard
Those of you
Yeah,
that suddenly
yeah.
got lost were addressing a comment in the chat room that says, "Do you remember when the trans community opposed Silence of the Lambs?"
But we're talking
Pray
about being
continue.
born that way, being in your psychosis, and what is your goal. And it was very, 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 very clear from how Hannibal Lecter, because I love all things Hannibal, Hannibal Lecter explained to them that they needed to go to sexual reassignment surgery centers and find people that were rejected because his true pathology was not
Was not
transsexual.
transgender,
And he
right.
says that in the movie, too, but it gets lost.
Yep.
That you're not looking for a transgendered person. You're looking for someone who was turned away because of
didn't fit,
violence.
right.
And he wouldn't fit, but he would have kept applying because what he's looking for is change, metamorphosis, a cocoon into a butterfly. Like it's very specific.
I remember the scene. Of
Oh,
course I
it's
do.
my favorite.
Right,
It's my
absolutely.
favorite movie of all time. But they're very specific in the book, in the movie, and it just got lost because of the mouth breathers. That was not part of his thing. Was he thought he was, but he was not a true transsexual. And Jodie Foster even says they're very docile. They're very like she makes it very clear that they're on the
That's
wrong
not
path.
right.
Yeah.
So again, and if you've never seen Silence of the Lambs letterbox, then there's something wrong with you.
Please do.
Pray continue.
Finishing up
something wrong
on
with me, don't I?
same-sex marriage in
haven't seen
Latin
it?
America.
I will tie you down and make you watch the movie. Greatest movie ever.
doubt-
Those of you that
seriously.
are updating your maps
I'll give you liquor.
can now color in Mexico along with Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil already allowing same-sex marriage.
And what do they have in common besides in Ireland? Don't forget Ireland.
Yeah.
No, Latin American
Oh,
countries.
I'm sorry. I pray.
I don't want to list all of the
Again,
countries in the world.
My
Right,
apologies.
right.
But what do those countries have in common? Catholicism.
Yeah.
As their
Interesting,
predominant.
Their predominant.
Yeah.
That Catholicism, the biggest fighter, is the first one to lay down and take
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
because we
interesting.
Spoiler alert!
and we talked about this with Ireland. I think modern Catholics are starting to go. It's kind of kind of a guide. It's not an absolute. It's
and
kind of
I think modern Catholics are like, yeah, you guys are pedophiles. Like, we're not going to take a lot.
And there's
of
been a whole lot of that goes around too.
You know what? We're going to take our moral ambiguity from people that don't diddle children on the regular. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you think that factors in more than I do? Anybody?
No,
the scandals that have been in the church over the last 15
that people
years,
are reading
that
them
people
being
are kind
like,
of over it, going, maybe you're not so directly from God.
Yeah.
As we used to think that you were, as we used to be told that you were.
So this will lead into my thoughtful vulgarity. Okay, very easy. Okay.
I like it. So
not now. Put your finger off the button. She's got more.
Last little bit of information, and then I can go on to one more topic, and then I can be done.
Yeah, you got time.
We got time. Let's see. To recap, Latin American countries currently permitting same-sex marriage: Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, and now Mexico. Chile plans to recognize same-sex civil unions this year. Ecuador approved civil unions in April, and Colombia grants same-sex couples many of the same rights extended to heterosexual married couples.
Fucking Colombia.
Right. Fucking Colombia.
Coffee and cock, right there.
I'm saying. Good news coming
If you can't get it done with coffee and cock, you're not doing it right.
of Mexico.
Or you're a lesbian.
So that's coffee
Or-
and coffee.
As
Or you're a
Or
lesbian.
you're not interested in either of the two
Exactly.
options.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Lesbians don't do
now,
coffee?
longtime listeners will know that this particular segment started out
We're
as
not
sports
cocky
and
about
such.
it.
And now it's just called shit on this.
No, it's just called shit on this. But in the spirit, we've gotten classier. In the spirit of nostalgia, I want to congratulate the women's national team for winning tonight and moving on to the next round, being the number one team in their D group. So moving on along in the World Cup.
Okay, great.
Allegedly, the next game that they play will be on Monday afternoon, which I'm very excited about. It coincides with some drinking that I like to do.
Nicely done.
So
Your Mondays at Oso.
yes.
Also Paradise Valley,
Oso
which
Paradise!
this coming Monday, it may move to Zips on Greenway and 64th just because of some
Because it can.
well, a little atmosphere action and a little, personnel action. We'll see.
I don't feel like typing, so might I read aloud?
Let's.
So it says the country
From
to
the
our
chat
north
room.
and the country to the south both have marriage equality across the board, but the U.S. is still struggling to catch up. Holy fuck. Meowkel, I just want to remind you, we were founded on religious freedom.
Right.
So we do not get religious freedom.
No, right.
So what we have to do is take it up the ass for religious freedom. There you go.
Dry.
The Father,
Dry.
Murica.
The Father,
Yeah.
Son,
Murica.
and the Holy
Murica,
Ghost.
where you take it up the ass dry, because that's how Lindsey Graham likes
Or
it.
there's a little holy
Pray
water.
continue.
Speaking of dry,
Spoiler alert, it's dry.
There's a dry.
This fuck's gonna be dry.
wait, where the fuck did my...
I don't know what to
Oh,
say.
there we go.
I just clenched a little. Like, I was like, oh.
Speaking of dry,
I don't think it.
picture it.
Speaking of dry.
1941, Sicily.
That a girl, Jenny.
That moment during a sporting event when the star player makes a crazy play and you want to stand and cheer, but you can't, lest you lose your basket of nachos.
Oh,
This
true
ever
story.
happened?
True
This
story.
ever happened?
I had that happen the other day in my own house.
Every time I try to toss my basket of nachos, it all goes wrong.
Well,
I stood up
Tell
and
me
yelled,
about
Union!
our own Phoenix Mercury
Ah.
have solved that problem.
Oh?
Well, Phoenix Mercury fans won't have to endure such a situation
'Cause of
again.
no cheering.
Thanks to
No cheering.
wait for it. Wait for it.
Can I guess? Can I
What?
guess? Okay.
No, thanks to the Nacho Fanny Pack.
Oh! Nothing says lesbian more than nachos in
And
your
a fanny pack.
Now
Now-
it's all about it. Now, where do you keep the cheese?
Stand by. What's the Nacho Fanny Pack, you ask?
It's not yours.
I didn't. It's not. I didn't. I didn't
Not
ask.
yours.
Exactly what it
Nacho
sounds
Fanny
like.
I did not.
A bag of tortilla chips and a cup of nacho cheese served inside a souvenir purple fanny pack. It's one of several new quote unquote wow food
What
items.
color does that come in?
Hang on.
Please.
Several.
follow-up
One of
question.
several new
Wow food.
items offered this season at Phoenix Mercury games at home.
Wow, that
When you
those
wear the-
nachos are in your fanny pack.
When you wear the fanny pack and it's around you, is it the Griner grip that it holds on with?
I don't know. I don't know.
That would be thrown
I
out.
was hoping. I thought they'd be bigger.
I think she'd
No.
chuck a phone at you.
Yeah.
Exactly, and slam you into the wall. I was
somebody with a
thinking
fanny pack.
that it was going to be the nachos
Yeah.
were served in your bosoms.
Well, you could certainly cinch that shit up there if you wanted to.
Marnie's going to serve you a tray of nachos in her cleavage.
Now,
Swallow!
The bowl's right
Spoiler
here.
alert, Marnie swallowed.
My chin's in the cheese dip. I'm sorry.
My chin's in the
What do you
cheese
had
dip.
something. You had
If I
something.
had a nickel for every time I've had to tell that to a girl, I'm sorry, my chin's in the cheese dip.
a quick rundown, if you will,
Of wow factors.
of the food items. We have, of course, the Nacho Fanny Pack. This hands-free snack is an exclusive Phoenix Mercury branded fanny pack
it is.
that comes with a bag of chips and cheese dip inside.
Color?
Purple.
Thank
No,
you.
but
Okay.
Mercury branded.
I can't get
Yeah, I just wanna make sure.
get my mouth to my fanny pack.
Well,
so does
no.
she have to eat out of my fanny
Picture it.
pack?
Picture it. Ready?
Wait for it.
Strapped around your ample midsection.
And you bring it to
Sitting
your
right there.
mouth.
No, you just eat it like fucking
Yeah.
nachos.
Or
Oh, I went
we
with
go
a trough-like
together-
reference. I thought I no longer used my hands.
No.
because they was praising
Still
Jesus.
hands. But when you jump up because holy
Very
fuck, whatever just
excited.
happened, all of your shit does not
now
fly into
you're
the
just
person
gonna
in
have
front of
cheese
you.
right
Oh
here.
my God.
For example,
Right there.
were this bag of
Is she wearing that shirt in this story?
It's bright enough. God, I'm sorry.
So when
man,
you're
I'm so
sitting
sorry.
down, it's
Sorry.
up, but when you
Right,
stand
yeah.
up,
I know.
it's right here.
You're gonna find me.
It does not dump to the floor.
Spoiler alert, the
that
person in front of you just got a head full of nachos.
Not with the nacho fanny pack. It stays close to your ample midsection.
Ample.
Ample.
What do you call it? Mercury?
Have you
Fat?
been to? Have you been to a
In my
Mercury
mind,
game?
when
Is
my
there
Nope, I'm
there's
the
a
fat one that has
fupa
it.
involved in this area, I'm pretty sure.
They also
No, Molly.
are now offering.
Now my thought is when my ample midsection stands up, it bends outwards.
Oh,
slightly.
yeah. You know, like your pants
Oh,
kind
damn
of
it.
roll down a little
Right.
bit. I'm just saying maybe.
My
Not
muffin,
mine, maybe.
my muffin may go slightly
My
midward.
muffin brings out the book.
I will now
No,
attempt
that
to
does not.
illustrate.
Oh,
Oh.
stand by.
Do we
Please
have
stand
a
by.
fanny pack?
Please
Cat
stand by.
Carlson
Please,
is doing
somebody bring the fanny
a
pack.
live reenactment of.
If anybody in this house has a spoiler alert, I'm going to
Seriously.
drink this wine and leave.
First, sans fanny pack.
All right, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Hooray!
Oh, the struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
Yeah.
$8.
Spoiler alert, down the drain,
With fanny pack. Right?
wrapped.
With fanny pack.
Now it's like a papoose, though. You're wearing that like a
I'm gonna
papoose.
wear that motherfucker on top of the
Well, I would
of
wear
So
it
you're
for
wearing like
Clayton
a
is bringing
tit
it up.
sling.
I have a question.
It's the
Is,
I
nacho
would,
tit
I
sling.
would.
is the papoose above or below nipples?
I'm gonna go
The way
below
she's
nipple.
wearing
All right,
it.
all right.
I would want
I'm
it
gonna
above
strap
because
right
then
here.
I can cheer and chew.
I want everyone
cheer
at
and
home
chew.
to put something on your midsection and stand up and tell me where that lands.
I
I
already
don't want
have.
anything more around my midsection. Make
cheer
the
and
boobs
chew.
bigger.
I
but-
already have a natural shelf here, so I'm pretty
Right.
sure that's where I'm gonna put
said,
said nachos.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like
Said
if
pack.
I want
Right.
them right
could you get out of my
here.
head for just a minute? Because
Upper-
there's no room in here for you.
Upper
But if they
abdomen.
were, imagine
Yeah.
they were attached
Yeah.
by a belt of some sort.
Mid-nipular.
Right. Then when I stand to cheer, they just come with me.
Ah.
I was, and did I not say that they should be done cleavage
yeah,
level for
yeah.
the Mariah?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly where I.
'Cause
was
if
That's
you-
where
going.
you just because every time
don't
you
think
stand
I'm-
up, those things are mid boob.
You could be
yeah.
dipping
I
the
don't know what
girls
you
in
call
salsa.
them. Right.
Well,
Oh, left.
Hey,
right,
How is
left,
that
right.
a bad idea? That's it.
yeah, it's not a bad idea at all. Nacho tit sling. Molly's
Salsa,
new-
After the
salsa,
hotel
sour
party,
cream,
we'll go to
sour
after
cream.
party.
Molly's new drag name is Nacho tit sling.
Milk.
Did you see my Amy Schumer?
No. I
Milk,
need to watch
Salsa,
her.
salsa, sour cream, sour cream.
Milk,
milk,
lemonade. Around the corner, fudge is made.
Oh, that's.
All right, continue on.
I'm pretty
thank you
sure
for
I'm on
anybody
the
who's-
second
plenty.
season of that as well.
Anybody who stays tuned in while Amy Schumer's on, first you're dumb, and second thank you for being
real.
dumb.
Yeah.
We appreciate your stupidity.
Other items hungry spectators can order and perhaps try and fit into their fanny pack include
Spoiler alert, you're hungry.
shut up include the 3 times grilled cheese, which is nearly
Oh.
1.5 feet long. It's made with 3
Does that
types
come
of
on
cheese.
a tray? Like right here? You just
Yeah,
put it-
like a boat.
Could
Yeah.
you describe the smell of your cheese?
Lindberger?
Would you like to lend me your nose?
many-
and I'll
And
let you
Lindberger?
smell my cheese.
Is that Munster?
How many batteries are involved in the foot-long cheese?
I'll have the blue cheese Lindberger.
cheddar.
Gruyere.
Oh, I like some cheese
Jack.
curds.
And Swiss to represent the Mercury's
Gruyere.
3 WNBA championships.
Oh, I thought she was going to say 3 lesbians on the team.
No, they're all fucking lesbians.
They're all-
Are kidding
thank
me?
you.
Spoiler alert!
Oh,
Spoiler alert! Jesus, don't ruin it for them.
God.
So
Yeah.
any local listeners, if you happen to
Or if you want to
purchase,
fly in
shut
for that.
up. If you happen,
Molly, her new drag name is Nacho Titsling.
I like that
welcome
Clayton's
to
on a
5 minutes.
10-minute delay.
He's on the ABC time.
I don't like your attitude,
We've already said it out loud, laughed at it.
but I said it loud enough to everybody to hear.
Yeah, okay.
I'll listen back.
Yeah, exactly. I did the musical already. I started in the stage play. Done the dramatic reading reenactment with
Did you use
Jessica
the word
Lansing.
kraut involved in that?
I did. The first one was German. I own a trailer.
Okay, so Kat,
I think it was
Kat
been
is
shit
closing
on.
up her
I
surface.
believe my segment has been appropriately shit upon.
All right,
Are you
well,
sure?
Next caller.
then we'll move into this next segment.
I didn't shout once tonight.
You're good. I know.
Really?
I just shouted
Because I got up early and ate.
Cover your ears.
This wake and bake thing. You guys
That's
got to
rough,
stop me.
for real.
We got to order a pizza. If I say wake and bake, you order a
Order a
pizza.
pizza.
Because
That's-
that ends ugly.
I'd
We-
like to order
I
pizza.
I screamed
now.
at people about the Tony Awards for 20 minutes last week. It was off.
It started
wrong.
off really fun though.
Oh, and it went wrong.
Yeah.
Started off really fun.
No, it was
Kind of like tonight's show.
I started to listen to last week's show,
enjoyable.
and it was very fun. I think probably because I pounded like 3 beers before this show even started. I was drink.
And then you got me drunk and
then this one
hungry
got
and started
drunk?
talking about the
Kinda
Tony
thought-
Awards.
Nobody twisted your arm, Becky.
thought
No,
That
no, no.
was
It's because I
annoying.
don't eat. If I say wake and
Yeah.
bake, that means no food. You
Get
got to
this
take
motherfucker a pizza.
Yeah,
We're in.
spoiler
I
alert.
don't keep food in my house, so so you're
So
right.
we're gonna
Somebody
order
has to
pizza.
order
Order
in.
a pizza. Make it sound like you were cooking.
Shit, not gonna happen.
Is this
how
coming
my dad
remotely
cooks.
from Pizza Hut? Oh, boneless chuck.
In the spirit of trying to get through all of this shit, and-
she goes,
we have 7 minutes left, and let's close it off with this little shit show we call the Thoughtful Vulgarity.
Shit.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk, because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Racially ruined everything.
This show could go wrong, and it often does.
All of it does.
Oh, you're being
And because
kind.
because I'm a frequent listener, it's always me that goes wrong. Like,
No, not always.
no.
Because you don't
I've
permit me to
certainly-
talk.
I know we could date.
well, no,
back.
I don't want to let you let it go wrong. I know you. All right, so
Oh, David
our
Means.
question
Carry on.
becomes: we go to. No, the wake and bake means exactly what it means to me in high school, except for, well, like, wake and bake could mean, Molly has asked what wake and bake means. Wake and bake means that if I work Monday night, I actually get up just prior to the show and I don't eat. I get up, take a shower, come right here, start drinking, and try to make this little trail mix shit that I make work. But the problem is I drink as much as I do in a day when I've been up all day and done stuff, and I have not eaten, and I'm
Right.
fucked
It
up.
doesn't,
But
it doesn't mean the same thing.
I a little bit agree with Molly because in high school it meant open your eyes, smoke a joint,
Smoke
and
a
then
joint.
maybe
Right.
get out of
Yeah.
bed.
Oh, but and to me, but wake and bake can mean either thing. It's either liquor. You only get two choices. It always meant liquor or pot,
No.
depending on where
It
you were,
always
what was
meant pot.
available.
Yeah.
Now, if it's wake and bake, and if it's just smoking pot and I don't drink, you're in good
Good
hands,
hands.
girl. We're gonna go all kinds of Ethel Merman with
It's
you.
Al State.
Yeah, then you're good.
All right.
But liquor,
No,
empty stomach.
you're
Okay,
in
so
good
we're
hands
gonna go
with
with our
that.
Catholicism and the Latin American countries and everybody doing good. Do you think we're gonna go all kinds of political on this one? Do you think that the Pope's alleged and encyclopedic what is his thing called? Encyclic?
Go help me.
Oh, yeah, you just saw that?
You're
I've
welcome.
not seen that yet.
I
Sorry.
just
I
I
like that.
posted a
She
link in the chat room.
is the new
Sorry.
black.
That's
Yeah, we're
funny.
looking at memes
I'm
on
so
Facebook.
Sorry.
What is your
Something about the Pope.
So the Pope has put out, and somebody Googled the word for me. And they make them now and then. They're called encyclics or encyclopics.
encyclical?
Encyclicals. His is coming out possibly this Friday, if it wasn't last Friday, and I believe it's this Friday. And he is going to say that we, as a world, as Christians, need to address climate change. Will this finally be the nail in the coffin for climate deniers? Like, is this
I
what
don't
we
think so.
need?
No. I think the climate deniers are going to hang on to that as just as tightly as possible and not, no, absolutely not. I don't care if it's the Pope. I don't care who it is.
Okay.
I really don't see it being anything that will be that monumental to them. They'll hear it and they might go, but no.
Okay.
Dr.
Dr. Ben Carlson.
Ben Carlson. I think it is one, I think Marnie's totally right. Like, the dumb people are still going to be dumb. It doesn't matter who's shouting. No matter who's telling them the truth, they've bought the Kool-Aid, and they're just going to be whatever it is. Having just, like, revisited the entire Jurassic Park mentality, find it incredibly arrogant for us to be leaning on the Pope to help us fix climate change. Like, climate change is a thing.
My favorite thing is the hubris of man.
Yes. Yes. You know.
I grew up next to Niagara Falls. The hubris of man, you will die.
Right. Yeah. Except for that one lady in the barrel. You will die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I find it incredibly arrogant for us to, be sitting here thinking, oh, maybe the Pope can fix climate change, or maybe the Republicans believing it can fix. Nobody's going to fix climate change at this point.
Right.
Okay? We have to adapt. We have to decide how we're going to continue to contribute to it or not contribute to it,
Right.
With the things that we have found out or believe are harmful to our environment. We should probably figure out how to deal with that. But we're not going to change or fix climate change. It's not happening.
Right.
Like, climate change is going to happen with or without us.
And too many, if I may, too many of the people that have bought the Kool-Aid and drank the Kool-Aid and are now selling the Kool-Aid are making too much money from that Kool-Aid.
Sure.
For them to change it.
In this country, there's a really big money
Right.
pit But nature finds a way. Like, shit will survive. It may not even be us, but shit will survive. Like, climate will change and things will change, and we might have to stop living in the goddamn desert and go live in the mountains, and
Yep.
life will find a way.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite quotes.
Oh, mine too. Yeah.
That and dead is dead.
Everything Jeff
Still
Goldblum
dead.
said in the first one, like, Ian Malcolm was his character name.
Well played.
Everything he said in the entire book and or movie or some of the fan fiction, I'm 100% on board with. Clayton McKee?
I'm going to agree with a little bit about both of you said. I think, and Harrison in the chat room,
I have to see it.
we're not going to change. We are not going to stop climate change because the Earth just keeps revolving and it keeps changing and does what it does. However, I think that there's way too much money involved for people, and they're blinded by their money to realize
Called
that
oil.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, exactly what it is. The fossil fuels. They're just way too blinded with that. They're just denying what is actual and what is real. And this is coming from a person who, the lawnmowers that I love are 2-cycle mowers. They burn oil and gas at the same time. They are what have been banned in so many areas because they're not environmentally friendly. That's why they're no longer made. I get that. I'm not going to give up any of my lawnmowers, just to let you know. But there are so many people that are just driven so much and blinded so much by that, and they're afraid of their lack of importance because they may fall out of a family or a wealth, or because, again, oil. They're just not. They're going to derive their beleaguered point home on the fact that it's not happening, not there, not this.
Yeah.
No. But I think it's funny because I did see today on Facebook some politician, and I forget who it was chastising the Pope on
Rick Santorum.
No, it wasn't him. There was another one because
I know what you're talking about.
I would have thought it was Santorum, even though I'm sure that fucktard.
No, he
is exactly.
He says
on that part.
he leaves the science. He says leave the science to the scientists, and it turns out that Pope Frank, my buddy,
scientist. Thank you.
Yeah.
So no, I think that until you can separate the money from the mission.
Well,
you can't.
I don't
You're
think
never.
you can ever.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
And the arrogance, because many of the people that are making that money,
the
off
hubris
of
of man,
right? But they're not looking at it, and it's for themselves, and in their lifetime, it may not really be affected, but they don't care because they could give a shit. I mean, my son will be fine, my daughter will be fine. They think, or hope. But don't really care.
Yeah.
Because they, I think, are very, very much just, this is what is now. And it's all about the present moment and that instant gratification. So.
We are a Protestant nation. Like, we've only had one Catholic president in all these years.
And he got shot. Crazy in Dallas.
Yeah. But I think the Pope saying something is going to have an effect on people that are going to be like, shit, that's God's representative on earth that just told us.
Calm down.
And then
fucking it up.
And then He also studied science in school. I think this is going to have an effect on places where we're not like small places like Pennsylvania with the fracking.
In the
like
Ozark kind of stuff
I think
and-
when people are now bragging, like, do you know that we are now the number one producer of oil and gas in the world? Like we are not reliant on other countries anymore.
I did not.
We
realize
do
that.
not rely on other countries. We can produce enough oil and gas in this country
For us.
to not go to war over oil and gas.
That's good news. I feel
No,
like
it's,
that's
it's
good.
not good news.
It's good. It is in theory, but it's not in actuality.
Because
Right.
that's
The good
what
news
they're
is,
doing.
but we're fucking up our own environment because we're like,
okay, sure.
keep fracking.
Oklahoma's got fucking earthquakes all over the place because of it.
Hundreds of
Got it.
earthquakes.
Right.
So, it's just one of those things where I think this one is gonna make people stop and be like, oh fuck, he went to college. He's God's ambassador on earth.
He washes the feet of poor people.
Poor people and women, and Christ Almighty, there's
He
women on
accepts
the
so
planet.
many things.
Nixon being a Quaker is my favorite thing about Nixon.
Oh, and then you add to on the icing on the cake is he's like, who am I to judge gay people? Oh my God, fracking and all this other shit, and he's about
But
gay
I think
people.
those two things
Again,
are
can't say enough about Frank.
counterproductive.
Cannot say enough about
I actually
Frank.
think in a way that those things are counterproductive because the idea of the crazy fuckers that are over here thinking the fracking and everything else is just great and we're going to keep doing it and keep doing it. They seem like the ones, maybe I'm wrong, that really don't like the gays.
And blame the gays for the earthquakes, not
Right,
the fracking.
exactly. That
Right.
we-
I'm not saying
so
you're
kinda
ever
like,
going to convince. You're not going to get the
Right.
fringe.
Right.
You're not going to get Donald Trump to be on page because if Donald Trump was truly religious, he wouldn't be on wife number 7 and chapter 11, number 16.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you're going to get those a little bit. Oh, Richard, we'll talk about that in a second. But you're going to get those people that are kind of in the middle and kind of caught up in the middle to say, wait a minute, like the Pope's on board with this? Like
Right.
you're going to convince some of those
You're
people
gonna get
that
the
were on
fence
the
sitters.
the
In the
fence
middle,
sitters.
right.
And now,
Which are always,
Okay.
we've learned from our presidential elections, those are always the people that you need, are the fence sitters.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we underestimate in these Catholic states, and I'm not saying around the world, Anant, I'm just saying we have very Catholic states that vote a certain way, and they sit in New York, they sit in Pennsylvania, they sit in these places that have unions, they sit in Delaware, they're very East Coast, like as you go more west, you get more Protestant, but as you go more east, you get to more Catholic. I think we're going to see people being like, oh, fuck, it's the Pope. When you get to the Italian community, when you get to the Hispanic community, you're going to see people saying, like, Mexicans still don't believe in birth control because of the Pope. Like, they take some of that shit
There's
literally.
still a lot of the people that don't vote, though, because either they can't,
Yeah.
because of circumstance, or they don't because of being pushed down,
Yeah.
as far as education and everything else. So that's where, again, I understand, but I'm like,
And we have to wait. We have to wait for other parts of the world to come into effect. Like India, China relied on bicycles and human transportation because they didn't have that option. That they need to get their oil fix, they need to do their car fix, and then they need to get over their car fix. But first, because that's part of capitalism, we got that earlier. India's getting there ahead of China. India's already been there. They've done that. Their modernized world already has all that stuff. China's new to this.
Sure.
China went from bicycles and no smog to cars for everyone and smog like crazy.
Right.
But they've made their adjustments. They didn't need the Pope. They looked at the smog and said, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
So China went up and came down. And Richard makes a point about Canadians for electricity, and I'm assuming you mean Niagara Falls. But Niagara Falls used to in the day supplied electricity to a third of the nation, and it was only usurped by nuclear power, not by what's considered clean. Nuclear is still considered clean energy by people who are really stupid, because we don't allow regulations. If we regulated, it could be cleaner. Okay. But Niagara Falls was the main source of electricity. Hydroelectric power is
right.
It was 1/3 of the nation.
Sure.
And so I don't know if Richard, if that's what you mean by Canada, but New York, the Robert Moses Parkway and the Robert Moses Power Authority are all hydroelectric, and like that is Niagara Falls is power. Like there's not as much water flowing over the falls because they use that for power.
Okay.
So that is clean energy that we are one of our natural resources in the United States. We used it for power.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So, I mean, it's just interesting. It's when a religious figure, not a religious figure, but the head of one of the major religions of the world makes this kind of statement as he's about to. Is it this Friday? Or last Friday?
Yeah, no, it's been leaked. He's supposed to address.
I think it's been leaked and it's this Friday.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have something.
Quebec?
Yeah. And he's talking about Quebec, but Niagara Falls is really like one of the biggest power sources in the world.
Okay.
Before we leave this topic, do you have a follow-up, or are we done?
No, I think we addressed the follow-ups.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think
Yeah,
it has to do with like
It'll be
how,
interesting to see.
you know.
And I would love to say I hope that you're right. I hope that you're spot fucking on, and that
Well, like Rick Santorum, who now,
Like,
Rick
I hope
Santorum
so.
runs on being a Catholic,
Yeah.
and he tells the Pope to like leave science to the scientists, and then get shut up about it.
Right.
And now Rick Santorum only runs on being Catholic. His only running
That's his
point
only
is that
thing.
I am, an emissary of the emissary. So don't you have to follow? And you're from Pennsylvania, so that's where fracking. No, New York State is no fracking.
Okay.
Because of Cuomo. He
Okay.
said no fracking anymore. And they have all those vineyards, they have all that wine, they have all the fresh lakes. You don't want fracking there. You don't want to mess with their water.
Right, with the
but
water tables.
Pennsylvania, a lot of lakes, a lot of fresh water, big cities. You don't want earthquakes. So if a very Catholic state says, okay, the Pope said no, Rick Santorum's a dick.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a big thing.
Sure.
Well,
It's-
because I don't.
I hope
Yeah, I think Rick Santorum just was talking out the other side of his mouth, which happens a lot of times because, as it turns out, like Pope Francis has a degree in chemistry.
That's what I'm saying. But if
Yeah.
Rick
Yeah,
Santorum
it's a
all of a
big
sudden
deal.
becomes an advocate for clean energy and starts and
that'd be a good thing,
That's
sure.
what I mean. Like if all
Yeah,
of a
too.
sudden he has to stop talking out his ass about gays having sex with dogs and polygamy.
Right.
If he has to say, well, I'm supposed to be on the Pope's side. Like my mission and the reason I bash gays is because of the Pope. Doesn't he have to get on the clean energy side? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
If he's gonna take it as link, and then thank you for all the suggestions. I just want to say that I watch them, I listen, so that's
Oh,
next.
absolutely.
We just asked that
Have a
would they not be
wonderful night
deleted
in
to like
there.
make the link?
Oh, we don't,
Yeah.
I won't delete any of
No,
that.
But he did it last week, where he did it at the last minute, so I had to get the link in.
Oh, well, it's been a
Thank
fun
you,
show.
everybody.
My
Yeah,
gosh, we
well
went on
done.
over time. We
Well
did a
played,
good show.
everyone. Thank you.
Most of us
Thank
paid
you.
attention.
I didn't scream at any of you about the
not,
Tonys.
Not
Very
quite,
nice.
exactly.
But I have to apologize for that last
Fun
week.
home, fun home.
Wake
fun
and bake
home.
means order a pizza. Fun home, fun home, fun home.
I should know that. I should have a direct link to. Well, I have a direct link to Domino's. We're good.
No, I will get it on my phone.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. It's a Tuesday night. It's Kat, Marnie, Al, and me. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we go, we will leave you with this parting thought.
We will.
We will see you next Tuesday.
Still didn't write it down.
I wrote it right here. It's right there. It's right there. It's on my goddamn notepad.
Brilliant. You're brilliant, brother. You're brilliant.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.